C2290. C2290, yes. As long as you cultivate up to the divine sense C, there will always be a divine sense C world. It's just that the majority of the things inside are your fantasies, and the SP A C inside the divine sense C world is pitifully small. But if your head condenses bones, you can treat bones as the core of your divine sense C world, shape it into a core of the earth, and then absorb the energy of the outside world through your bones. Wu Ji said, laughing. This way you can create a real divine sense C world. Real divine sense C world? Where would that be? Qin Xiang said in surprise. If it was a real world, wouldn't others be able to break through SPAC and enter? Or is this so-called real world like the SPAC inside the storage magic treasure? No, the real world is real. You are the God of this world, so you can designate this world to follow your thoughts. Time, SPAC, sunrise and sunset, stellar transposition, they could all be controlled at will. And you yourself entered your own real world, enjoying the benefits that this real world brings you. Wu Ji's face turned serious. According to the legends of our undead divine race, if one wants to break through the realm of peak divine lord, the head must condense bones. Our patriarch broke through the realm of peak divine lord, and now that he's dead, we all suspect that he's immersed himself in his own world. In his world, he can control everything, gather limitless amounts of resources, and bring him to the peak of another realm. Qin Xiang was stunned. This sounded very mystical, but it did not sound like it was impossible, and he himself had experienced many miraculous things. For example, he himself had 2 divine sense CS, and Yuer could not understand this. Wu Ji saw that Qin Xiang was deep in thought and said, earlier, some of the elders in our undead divine race were experimenting. For example, those elders who possess 9 divine deity, they would cripple a piece of their divine deity, and then condense it using all sorts of method. It's just that it's not easy to condense divine deity, and it's even more difficult to condense divine deity in the head. For so many years, our undead divine race had not seen any divine deity in the head. Qin Xiang was thinking of the 4 divine deities on his head. 2 were already in his eyes, and when they congealed, they fused with his eyes, and could be said to have broken away from his bones. And these 2 bones that had just been condensed out could be considered as the true head bones. He felt that every time he condensed the bones, it would always be the double bone level, and that was because he had the second divine sense C. If he were to use the bones as the equivalent of the core of the earth, then of the 2 bones that had just condensed in his head, one would belong to him, the core of the second divine sense C. Qin Xiang's control over the divine sense C had always been strong. For example, he had previously tried to refine pills inside the divine sense C. Although the divine sense C contained a very powerful divine power, the inside was extremely weak. To release a magic method furnace from the divine sense C that could explode at any time to refine pills, this was equivalent to suicide. But Qin Xiang had done it, and his divine sense C was also very stable, allowing him to do such a dangerous thing. All along, divine sense C had reflected the yearning in one's heart. Right now, this divine sense C of Qin Xiang yearned for a peaceful and tranquil world. It was because he was too exhausted all these years. For his family and friends, for his own survival, he ran all over the place non-stop. Partic. 1. P. Aided in all kinds of wars and experienced all kinds of dangers. Therefore, he longed for this peaceful and peaceful life from the bottom of his heart. However, deep in his heart, he had an even greater desire and ambition. Even he himself did not know what it was. It was just that over the past few years, due to all sorts of things, his terrifying ambition did not explode, and as time passed, it grew quiet. However, it still existed deep within his heart along with him. That was his second divine sense C, which was also his true appearance. I'll soon be arriving at my second divine sense C. As long as I condense the 100 GODS level, I'll be able to see my true divine sense C with 9 bones. Qin Xiang clenched his fist. Wuji said, "The Earth's core is always hot, and this bones is used as the core, so of course it's for the fire attribute. Of course, you can also choose other attribute." "I understand." Qin Xiang nodded. He had already decided that if one of the 2 bones he had condensed just now fused with the life and death divine soul, it would allow his divine sense C world to be more lively and beautiful. And the other one was prepared for the second divine sense C. In order to match his second divine sense C, he needed to find 5 sets of divine soul, which also corresponded to the 5 beast statue in his second divine sense C. Right now, Qin Xiang could not go and condense the 9th divine deity, because before that, he had to finish condensing his divine soul, and condense his divine deity to 100 before proceeding with the final sprint. At that time, it would definitely not be difficult, because he would be able to condense them very smoothly after eating the bone-level fruit. "Elder Wu, I'll go look for divine soul now. It might take some time to return. If the disciples don't have enough divine pellets, ask them to wait a little longer." Qin Xiang said, "Divine pills are definitely enough. You already gave them a lot and they are already very satisfied. Because of the death of Purple Yuan sect, we can't let them go out right now. This caused them to clamor all day just to kill Special G. O, D Beast S and help you earn some Shin Yuan Stone S." Wu Ji laughed. "I'll be fine. I'll be back in 3 months or so, and at that time, the Purple Yuan sect will probably take action as well. They won't let this go easily, and they'll just let the W.A.N.G. Ancient Heavenly Star off the hook like that." Qin Xiang said. "The Purple Yuan sect already has a new leader. Their leader died here, so no matter what, they will come here to find trouble. This group of people are all very ambitious, they would definitely use this chance to swallow the entire W.A.N.G. Ancient Heavenly Star. This way, they can occupy 2 heavenly stars and become the strongest power in the Star Law Divine Realm." Wu Ji nodded his head. "But we don't have to worry, they won't be able to find us for now." After Qin Xiang changed his appearance, he headed towards the transmitting square. He was not going to look for divine soul, but to look for Gulong on the Earth Dragon Star. He wanted to know more about that kind of bone-level fruit. If he could get a lot of these bone-level fruit, he would be able to build an army of peak divine lords soon. After a few teleportations, Qin Xiang finally arrived at the Earth Stage Stars, Earth Dragon Star. Gulong was the Star Lord here. He directly arrived at the largest city on Earth Dragon Star, Emperor Dragon City. Why isn't this place called Earth Dragon City? And it's called Emperor Dragon City? Qin Xiang came to Long City via the transmission array, smiling as he talked to himself. Landworms are already quite unpleasant to listen to. I expect that not too long from now, Earth Drake will be named Emperor Dragon Star. Yuer smiled. C-2291. C-2291 Gulong was the Star Lord. He definitely lived in Long City. Qin Xiang wandered around Long City, and accidentally discovered that he could feel the aura of a dragon from here. "Is there a dragon here?" Qin Xiang said in shock. "Divine Dragon Race is also hiding now. This Earth Dragon Star has probably existed for a long time. Those Heavenly Star Great Leaders must have also come here to look for it. Who asked him to give such a name?" Yuer said. Qin Xiang had already found out the location of the Emperor Dragon City's Star Lord. That place was called Supreme Dragon Villa, and if one stood on a wide street they would be able to see a mountain in front of them, and that would be the Emperor Dragon Villa. Could it be? Yuer suddenly thought of something. "What is it?" Qin Xiang asked. "Gulong has taken a liking to Bishing Immortal Lotus, and Bishing Immortal Lotus is a divine medicine used to refine 3 lotus dan for detoxification. For him to be willing to part with that bone-level fruit means that he is in urgent need of Bishing Immortal Lotus S, and he wants more lotus seeds. That means that the poison that needs to be detoxified is very deep, or that he needs to receive many people's poison. Yue replied, "This place has a dragon aura, which means there's a dragon here. A dragon is most afraid of a poison." Hearing Yue's words, Chen Xiang also felt that it was possible, and the poison that dragons feared the most was obviously black dragon flower poison. Long Shui was so powerful, he could only absorb a bit of the black dragon flower poison's poison mist, and that took half his life. Chen Xiang quickly walked in front of the door of the Supreme Dragon Villa. Even though the door was open, a jade plate with no access, or someone that the guard recognized, simply could not be entered. "I want to see Star Lord Gulong. He'll know when you tell him about the Bishing Immortal Lotus." Chen Xiang told the guard to pass the message back. "Please wait a moment." He quickly left through the door. It was obvious that he was extremely concerned about this matter. It was clear that Gulong had instructed him to quickly spread the news regarding the Bishing Immortal Lotus. Not long after, a black figure flashed by and Chen Xiang saw a familiar face, immediately flying out. "Oh, it's Brother Shen. Come in quickly." Gulong immediately laughed and said. Then, he brought Chen Xiang into the Supreme Dragon Villa, into a quiet bamboo forest. Brother Ji's words are indeed true. That bone-level fruit really made me condense my bones. Chen Xiang laughed. "I, Gulong, am definitely speaking the truth. I have never lied to anyone before." Gulong laughed out loud. "Since Brother Shen has condensed your bones, then we should celebrate it now. I will tell my people which dishes and wine to bring over." Very quickly, the wine and dishes arrived. Many of them were very sumptuous, and Chen Xiang did not hold back as he tried the delicious dishes. "Brother Gu, I don't understand, these bone-level fruit are definitely capable of condensing bones. Why would you want to exchange it? Furthermore, if you eat 9, wouldn't you be able to condense 9 bones?" Chen Xiang and Gulong asked after drinking a bowl of wine. "This bone-level fruit is also very strange. Other than the 9th bones, all other divine deity can be condensed by eating bone-level fruit. For example, the first time you ate one, as long as you ate one, you would definitely be able to condense one, and condensing a second bones would require 500 bone-level fruit, and condensing third bones would require 1,000 and fourth would require 1,500. If we were to use this method, we will need to increase the amount by 500. Gulong sighed. "Even so, it only takes a period of time to grow this fruit, and I will also be able to eat the 8 bones, only, it will no longer have any effects when I reach the 9th, and will simply not be able to eat." "Oh? Then, Brother Gu, don't you have a lot of these bone-level fruit?" Chen Xiang said in shock. They must have tried it, otherwise they wouldn't say such words. "There used to be a lot, but now there's less," Gulong said. "At that time I forgot to tell Brother Shen it was best to save it until the 8th bones is condensed before using it. I'm fine. Have you ever tried to refine a bone-level fruit into a pill? Would the effects be better this way?" Chen Xiang asked again. "No, I can't refine a pill. An old fellow here who is capable of refining the King Grade's divine pellet, has tried many times but to no avail, and even wasted thousands of fruits." Gulong shook his head. Chen Xiang suddenly had a lot of interest. What others couldn't do, he liked to challenge the most, and that was how the 9 Yin and Yang Dan acted previously. "Brother Gu, how many bone-level fruit do you have? I want to get some." Chen Xiang laughed, looking at Gulong's demeanor. He knew that there were a lot of them, if not he could casually waste over 1,000 of them. "If it used to be more, now it is less." Gulong shook his head. "Of course, if Chen Xiang really wants it, give me a price, I can actually help you get some." "Brother Gu, even though you are the Star Lord, you guys are a major power, right? It seems like your internal department is also very harmonious." Chen Xiang laughed. Brother Gu is such a straightforward person, there will definitely not be any conflicts between you and others. Of course, although our Supreme Dragon Villa is not a powerful powerhouse like the Heavenly Star Villa, we are still very loyal. If those big powers want to make a move on us, even if we have to risk our lives, we will still make them suffer. Gulong laughed. What if I take out my 3 lotus Dan? Chen Xiang asked. He did not have many purple pearls now, but there were a lot of spirit seed that could make the 3 gods lotus produce lotus seeds. The last time he refined one for Dai Donggong's daughter, he gave Dai Donggong 2 pills and left one for himself. It really is a 3 lotus Dan, and its quality is very high. Gulong was surprised. Brother Shun, how did you get your hands on it? I have seen 3 lotus Dan, but the quality is not as good as yours. Chen Xiang laughed. Of course I refined it myself. The last time at the trade fair, those bone-level Dan were all refined by me alone. I am also a pill God. Awesome. Gulong gave Chen Xiang a big thumbs up. Looks like you are much stronger than our old ghost who managed to refine the King Grade's divine pellet. How is it? How many bone-level fruit can I exchange my 3 lotus Dan for? Chen Xiang now also wanted to use bone-level fruit to try and see if he could refine a pill. If he was more patient, he could use the purple pearl to copy it, but that would take a lot of time. 10. Gulong said. I knew that Brother Gu would have a lot of them, but don't you think so? Chen Xiang laughed. I can't just casually take out bone-level fruit as. We will just take out a tree and use the time formation to accelerate. Over the years, we have consumed a lot of energy from the Earth's core, so our acceleration has become extremely slow, not as fast as it was before. Gulong said. Brother Gu, do you have dragons here? Just as Chen Xiang finished asking, Gulong became alert, and a trace of hostility flashed in his eyes. Don't worry. I know what's going on with Dragon, but I don't want to catch you BASTARDS like those BASTARDS. To be honest, I have a wife who is a white dragon, and because she was infected with a black dragon flower poison, I ran all the way to Star Law Divine Realm to find the 3 Lotus Dan's divine medicine. After I worked hard to find it, I have successfully refined the 3 Lotus Dan and helped her detoxify it. Chen Xiang immediately said. C-2292. C-2292. Hearing what Chen Xiang said at the end, Gulong's expression became a lot more gentle. Seems like Brother Shun has already guessed something. Gulong sighed. I'm not afraid to tell you, even though I have the bloodline of the divine dragon race, I'm human. I have a recognized sister, just like Brother Gu. Chen Xiang nodded and laughed. The white dragon vein in his body was also very strong. Only those BASTARDS have black dragon flower poison. Since you came from a distant world outside the Star Law Divine Realm, how were you poisoned? Could it be that those fellows went all the way over to poison him? Gulong said. From his tone, it was obvious that he hated the people who poisoned him. Chen Xiang nodded his head. He had initially absorbed that person's memories, but only knew that they were entrusted to this place by a group of people from the Star Law Divine Realm, but he did not know who they were. At that time, all I knew was that those people were sent by Star Law Divine Realm. I came to Star Law Divine Realm, and only then did I have a slight understanding of the powers here. Chen Xiang said. At the same time, I also heard about the matters of the divine dragon race. After all, my wife is by long, she should also be considered a member of the divine dragon race. Now it seems like Brother Gu has a lot of poisonous dragons here. White dragons are extremely rare, they have never appeared in divine dragon race, but there are some in teleportation places. At this time, Gulong was no longer so cautious towards Chen Xiang. The divine dragon race was indeed poisoned by them. Many powerful old divine dragons were poisoned and are currently frozen. We, the descendants of dragons, can only run around in search of the antidote. Gulong sighed. Then how many 3 lotus dan do you want now? Chun Xiang Pas, said the 3 lotus dan in his hand over. Take it for now. After Gulong received them, he gave Qin Xiang 10 bone-level fruit and said, we still need about 30 of them. This is not a small number. Of course, if there were any other supreme dan beads or dan beads that could cure the poison, that would be fine too. To remove black dragon flower poison, 3 lotus dan are the best. If I were to give you 33 lotus dan, would you be able to give me 300? Chen Xiang asked. He felt that this was not too hard. He did not need to copy the divine lotus. As long as he could get the 3 divine lotuses to become mature through the spirit seed he would be able to condense the lotus seeds. As long as he used lotus seeds, he would be able to refine 3 lotus dan, and he could produce more than 1 pill in a single furnace. If Brother Shun can help us get 33 lotus dan in a short period of time, we can give you 500. Gulong said. Even though I have not reported it, they will definitely agree. All right, in a short period of time. How many days is it? At this time, Chun Xiang had already told Yue to plant spirit seeds. As long as she diluted them with purple pearls and watered them with water, they could grow them in batches. Within a year. At this time, he was very excited as well. If Chun Xiang could help them get so many 3 lotus dan, then Divine Dragon Race's old dragon would be able to unlock them very quickly. Since the Divine Dragon Race didn't have a powerful old dragon guarding it, it caused the entire Divine Dragon Race to panic and hide in all directions for many years. Chun Xiang had also heard from Yue that among all 4 divine races, only Divine Dragon Race's combat power was the most terrifying. Earlier, Yue had already been extremely suspicious about why Divine Dragon Race didn't counterattack, and now she understood that all of them had been infected with black dragon flower poison. Okay, I will definitely give it to you within a year. I have the divine medicine, and right now, I only need to enter closed-door training for a period of time. Qin Xiang laughed. Brother Gu, can you help me arrange a better environment for me to refine pills? Gulong said in surprise. You alone managed to refine 33 lotus dan in a year? That is a king-grade GOD pill. All these years, Gulong and the others had been looking everywhere for 3 lotus dan, so they understood 3 lotus dan very well. Naturally, they knew that 3 lotus dan were not easy to refine, and many of the pill GODs they knew said that it would take at least a few months to refine a batch of 3 lotus dan, and if it was a long time, a few years would be normal. As for Chun Xiang himself, he would need to refine 30 pills in a year. To Gulong's knowledge, this required 30 batches of pills. I alone can handle it. All you need to do is to equip your bone-level fruit and give it to me. Chun Xiang laughed. Quickly bring me to concoct pills. Gulong brought Qin Xiang to a quiet little courtyard in the Supreme Dragon Villa. I will instruct them not to let anyone near this place. Brother Shen, you should start forging the pills in peace. After Gulong finished speaking, he hurriedly left. He was going to discuss this matter with his own clansmen. Chun Xiang entered the courtyard and had Yue start to mature those 3 divine lotuses, so that they could grow a lotus seed as soon as possible. If he wanted to refine 33 lotus dan, he would only need to refine 10 batches. It would be enough if he could condense 10 lotus seeds out of the 3 divine lotuses, which would be completely possible within 1 year. If he wanted to copy 500 bone-level fruit, who knows how long it would take. You try to mature those divine lotuses first. I'll try to see if I can refine the bone-level fruit into a divine pellet. Chen Xiang said. As long as he had enough divine medicines, he would be able to refine them immediately. Now that Yue wanted to mature the divine lotus, there was still a bit of time left for Duan Kong to do so. He also had 10 bone-level fruit on him, so he decided to try refining the bone-level fruit first. Yue smiled. If I can concoct a divine pill, What kind of divine pill would that be? It can't be called a bone-level Dan, right? Let's talk about it after it is forged. It seems like it won't be easy to forge. Chen Xiang took out the Chuang's Hi+God furnace and threw it inside. Just as the flame was released, the bone-level fruit turned into mist and merged into the flame, causing it to become even more exuberant. Motherf asterisk cur. Chen Xiang could not help but scold in a low voice. He never thought that this bone-level fruit was actually so afraid of flames, it just disappeared the moment it touched flames. Previously, when Chen Xiang ate the bone-level fruit, he knew that it was very weak. With a light bite of its teeth, it would be able to bite it down, and it would look no different from a normal fruit. Unexpectedly, even the weakest of flames, the moment the bone-level fruit touched it, would immediately vaporize like water. What's wrong? Yue saw Chen Xiang's expression and asked anxiously. No, that bone-level fruit was a waste. I never thought it would be so weak. The flame evaporated with a light touch. Chen Xiang said. I have to think of a way to deal with this kind of special situation. I have never encountered such a situation before. Under my control, the heat generated by my flame is extremely low. Even if the paper touches it, it won't burn for a while. But this bone-level fruit is extremely strange, as if it can consciously absorb a large amount of flames into its own body. Although the time he took to refine the pellet was very short, Chen Xiang still noticed a lot of things. C-2293. C-2293 Chen Xiang closed his eyes and started searching for a solution within the heavenly alchemy. If he could not find one, then he would not be able to progress any further. When concocting pills, one needed to be precise and proficient in controlling the fire. They needed to refine out the energy within the material, leaving behind the essence and burning away all the impurities. However, this bone-level fruit would never give alchemists the chance. It could ignite itself and quickly incinerate itself. Let's try using the flame first, it might be useful. Chen Xiang was unable to find a suitable solution from the heavenly alchemy at the moment, so he could only use a method that he thought was feasible. After he used the mystic flame, the interior of the pill furnace was extremely quiet. Just as Chen Xiang thought there was hope, the bone-level fruit suddenly lit up, and in the blink of an eye it disappeared. We wasted another one. Chen Xiang was completely speechless. This bone-level fruit seemed to have disappeared the moment it touched the flames. He had no idea how to refine it, and if he did not use the flames, he had no idea how he could do it. He did not dare to try again now, and could only continue to search for a solution within the heavenly alchemy. Just like that, he searched for 10 days, but he still did not have any clues, causing him to become extremely agitated. Could it be that bone-level fruit is really unable to refine a divine pill? Chen Xiang asked himself. Didn't the heavenly alchemy say that it can refine all living things in the world? There must be a way, but you haven't found it yourself. Yue laughed. Now that you have 3 sets of divine medicine used to refine 3 lotus dan, are you going to start refining them? Chen Xiang nodded his head. Give it to me, I want to first refine the 3 lotus dan heart. Before, when he was refining the 9 yin and yang dan and the 3 lotus dan, he encountered many problems and could even get a clue in the end, but now the bone-level fruit did not have a clue. No matter how he thought about it, he did not know how to deal with it. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. Chen Xiang had successfully refined 12 3 lotus dan-s, and he was now able to condense 4 pellets in one furnace, which made him very satisfied, because this was not a small breakthrough. If it was before, when he refined 3 pellets in one furnace, he would only be able to condense 9. Now, Yue could concoct 3 sets of divine medicine in 10 days' time, so Chen Xiang had only just finished 3 batches, and was about to start concocting again. In about 3 months, Chen Xiang had refined 8 batches of 3 lotus dan, with 4 pellets each, for a total of 32 pellets. Do you still want to continue refining bone-level fruit? Yue asked. No, I have no idea where to start. Refining it would just be a waste of a bone-level fruit. Qin Xiang said, let's go out and exchange for those 500 bone-level fruit. Moreover, I had said before that I would be returning in 3 months. We'll talk about it after we return to the villa. Qin Xiang walked out of the courtyard and found Gulong. It's not even a year and you're already out, Qin Xiang? Isn't it too boring? Gulong laughed. Of course not, I'm in a hurry to go back. Here are 33 lotus dans, are you ready? Qin Xiang laughed. Gulong was greatly shocked. It had only been 3 months or so, yet he was able to refine 33 lotus dans. Gulong found it hard to believe that this was true. This. Can I see it? Gulong did not dare believe it. Qin Xiang took out a jade box and handed it over to him. Gulong took a look at it and took a deep breath in shock. It is real as expected. Did you really refine this in 3 months? How did you refine it? I told the old man in my clan that you were going to refine 33 lotus dan in a year, and he said it was impossible. And now you're a lot ahead of schedule. You're done in 3 months. Of course I used a pill furnace? Qin Xiang laughed. I am a very powerful pill G.O.D. different from those you have seen before. Oh right, Brother Gu, where is your bone-level fruit? It couldn't be that he wasn't prepared. Am I refining too fast? I'm ready. Gulong immediately gave Qin Xiang a storage bag. Count it yourself. Qin Xiang counted them, and there were a total of 500. Brother Gu, do you know what happened in the Everlasting Mountain in the past 3 months? Qin Xiang asked because if Purple Yuan sect died here, something would definitely happen later. Well, I also feel that it's very strange. It's already been 3 months and Everlasting Mountain is actually calm and tranquil. It's really abnormal. If we were the Purple Yuan sect, we would have killed our way over long ago and leveled the Everlasting Mountain, occupying the entire WANG ancient heavenly star. Gulong said. But whether it is the Purple Yuan sect or the Everlasting Mountain, there are no movements. It is as if nothing had happened. Qin Xiang also felt that it was strange, he said. Then I will take my leave first. Next time when I am at the bone-level fruit, I will come again to find you, Brother Go. Brother Shun, where are you in WANG ancient heavenly star? If I want to find you, how can I contact you? Now Gulong already knew that Qin Xiang was an extremely terrifying pill G.O.D. There's a villa in Song Cloud City. You can go there to find me, but whether or not you want to announce my name, just say that you want to find leader. Qin Xiang said. Leader? All right. Gulong felt that it was already quite a good amount of luck that he could recognize Qin Xiang as a pill G.O.D. He could solve the problem that they had been unable to do for many years in such a short period of time. Qin Xiang left the Earth Dragon Star and returned to his villa. Elder Wu, I was on Earth Dragon Star before. According to my understanding, Purple Yuan sect did not make any movements, and Everlasting Mountain was like that as well. Why is that so? Once Qin Xiang returned, he immediately went to find Wu Ji and asked him about this matter. Wu Ji was still meddling with the cultivation technique. When he saw Qin Xiang had arrived, he immediately got up and said, The other heavenly stars and other major powers are also puzzled by this, but I have learnt a lot through my clone. This is really strange. Qin Xiang sat down. Dan Godinsti Toot and the Elders' Courtyard have all agreed to merge with the Purple Yuan sect, and WANG ancient heavenly star is also one of the Purple Yuan sect. After a while the Purple Yuan sect will send people to take over the Everlasting Mountain, and that person will even become the leader. Wu Ji said. This way the Everlasting Mountain will not be attacked by the Purple Yuan sect, and those fellows will not suffer any losses. And Purple Yuan sect does not need to go overboard just to obtain WANG ancient heavenly star S and have them take control. They all feel that it's worth it. I really don't know what those idiots from the Everlasting Mountain are thinking. Once the Everlasting Mountain is taken over, they will definitely not have any good days in the future, especially those inner sect disciples who have weak strength. Chen Xiang sneered. Leader, your original plan was to defeat Everlasting Mountain. It seems like it will become even more difficult now. In the next few days, the Purple Yuan sect will send his people over to take over the more prosperous parts of the Wang ancient heavenly star. At that time, many of the peak divine lord will come over. Wu Ji said. C-2294. C-2294. When the Purple Yuan sect came over, Chen Xiang didn't feel that this was disadvantageous for him. Instead, he felt that this was good. It's fine, no matter what, we have to face all the powerful forces of the heavenly star realm in the end. Even if the Purple Yuan sect does not come, we cannot act rashly before we have absolute strength. Otherwise, it would be very easy for us to be killed by the other great leaders of the heavenly star realm. Chen Xiang laughed. We will continue to develop in secret. As long as we have a few peak divine lords on our side, we will be able to do something to fight against them. Wu Ji nodded. Oh yeah, if you're condensing a disciple with 7 bones, tell me. I'll give them a fruit to eat, and it will allow them to immediately condense the 8th bones. Chen Xiang said. Leader, I have 7 bones now. Wu Ji asked anxiously. Is there really such a mystical fruit? Can condense bones just by eating it? Chen Xiang nodded. But we can only eat up to the 8th bones. The first time, we only need to eat one, then we will definitely be able to condense bones, other than the 9th bones. He took out a bone-level fruit and said it to Wu Ji. Eat it first, wait for Elder Wu to finish looking for your 8th bones, then you can consider the 9th bones. Wu Ji still did not dare believe it. After eating it for so many years, every time he condensed his bones, it would take a long time and it would be extremely painful. Leader, did you find the divine soul on your head? Wu Ji asked. Not yet, I went to Earth Dragon's star to get something like that. Chen Xiang laughed. There are some things I want to ask Elder Wu. Go ahead. I knew I'd tell you. Wu Ji put away the bone-level fruit and took out a transparent crystal ball. He guessed that the thing Chen Xiang wanted to ask would require him to establish a connection with multiple clones. I heard that Star Law Divine Realm once had an azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise. These 4 divine beasts, right? Chen Xiang asked. I wonder if there's still anything left? The 4 divine beasts that were once in the Star Law Divine Realm no longer exist. When a world reaches a stable state, they will also die. His lifespan is limited, and he won't live forever. Wu Ji said, Our undead divine race has very detailed records of the 4 divine beasts, including where they died. I need this information. Chen Xiang said. If they die, there should be more things left behind. Yes, that's for sure. Back then, those heavyweights caught our clansmen and tortured them to find out where the 4 divine beasts died. As for whether or not it was leaked, I'm not sure either. Wu Ji let out a long sigh, looked at Chen Xiang, and asked seriously, Leader, can you tell me why you want to find the 4 divine beasts' mausoleum? I need their divine soul to integrate with my bones. Chen Xiang answered honestly, these bones were all prepared for the other bones on his head. All right, it's just that the tomb of the 4 divine beasts is not easy to enter. Even our clansmen do not know about this. We only know that the tombs of the 4 divine beasts were constructed by a group of strange fellows. Wu Ji tapped the center of Chen Xiang's brows with his fingertip and told Chen Xiang the location of the tomb of the 4 divine beasts. What a strange guy. Are they humans? Chen Xiang asked curiously. We don't know if they are human or not. We know that those fellows are very savage and have the features of humans, but their actions do not resemble humans at all. Wu Ji said. For example, when they hunted the special G.O.D. beast, they would directly tear it apart and eat it for themselves. If we catch them, they will be eaten alive as well. Furthermore, they are extremely powerful, so what they are using is not divine power. Not divine power? Qin Xiang said in shock. Could it be the power of my physical body? It's also not the power of the physical body. In short, even if they don't have heads, the random movement of their bodies will still burst forth with very strong power. In short, it's a very strange power. Wu Ji said. Of the 2 bones in his head, one wanted to merge with the life and death divine soul, and the other wanted to merge with the 5 beasts' divine soul. 4 of them belonged to the 4 divine beasts. Back then, there were 5 beast statues on the yin-yang array in his dantian, and an elephant was in the middle. It was still the same, and he didn't know where to find the divine soul of that elephant, so he could only find the 4 divine beasts first. If there's a Qilin beast elephant in the middle, then it would be easy. Why wouldn't it be? Chen Xiang was also very confused by this. Wu Ji returned to the private room to eat bone-level fruit. Chen Xiang went to chat with Feng Wu for a while, and also returned to the private room to refine bone-level dan. In a month's time, Chen Xiang had refined quite a few bone-level dan. All of them were of high, middle, and low quality. He said them to Dai Donggong, bid farewell to a few elders, and then left the W.A.N.G. ancient heavenly star. Chen Xiang left the W.A.N.G. ancient heavenly star to search for the 4 divine beasts' mausoleum. Where are they? Yue asked. I am quite familiar with the star law divine realm, and I can sense the stars. Among the distant death stars, undead divine race only knows a general idea. Chen Xiang said, I do. Huh! Yue exclaimed, among the dead stars? Star law divine realm has the most death stars, you can't just search for them one by one, right? There is an approximate range. Oh right, Yue, if you were a death star, would you be able to establish a connection with one? Chen Xiang asked. No, a dead star is dead. No matter how big it is, as long as it's dead, there's no star spirit in it. I can't sense it. Yue replied. If there's a rough estimate, then it's not that difficult. Chen Xiang used the W.A.N.G. ancient heavenly star to teleport to a Earth stage stars, and then used this Earth stage stars to teleport to a profound rank star. Only these stars had transmission array, so he was going to cross over in the endless starry sky. The stars of these divine beasts shouldn't be the type to give up all hope, right? Even their corpses can make the Death Star produce star spirit. Yue asked, Chen Xiang, which divine beast's mausoleum are you going to go to now? Azure Dragon. Using the SPAC wind, Chen Xiang quickly left that profound rank star and entered the dark starry sky. I've come to this star field before. Back then, I encountered a rather strange matter here. Yue suddenly shouted, You have to be careful. What strange thing? Chen Xiang was only worried about the strange fellow that Wu Ji was talking about. He was curious about this and was very curious about the fact that he was able to help the 4 divine beasts build a mausoleum. There's a kind of starry sky blood devil here, like a bloodthirsty thing suddenly appeared. It's invisible. I met many of them, and they chased me for a long distance as well. This guy could also travel through SPAC to chase you, but then somehow that guy suddenly died. That's very hard to kill. Yue said, This question has troubled me for many years. C-2295. C-2295. When Chen Xiang heard Yue talk about starry sky blood devil, he immediately stopped. He knew that this kind of star domain was dangerous, but he felt that even if it was dangerous, he would have sensed it beforehand. Starry sky blood devil? Chen Xiang asked. It's a special kind of spirit that's lurking in the dark sky. Their initial form does not have a physical body, it's just that the spirit bodies that you can't see or touch are wandering in the sky, quietly and specifically attached to the bodies of humans and beasts, quietly sucking blood. While sucking blood you will not be able to discover them, and when you are aware of it, the blood on your body instantly decreases by a lot. Yue thought back to this incident, her voice trembling slightly. Back then, I had a lot of blood sucked out of me. I was almost completely sucked dry. This is terrifying? Why didn't you say so earlier? Chen Xiang looked around, his heart also full of guseb. MPS. Yue's perception was extremely strong. Even if she couldn't detect it, it would be difficult for others to do so. We haven't reached that area yet. It's still very safe here, but even if we go there, I won't be able to feel the existence of the starry sky blood devil, but if you use the Dao Heart Eye, you might be able to see it directly. Yue replied, back then, when I communicated with the stars, I found out that starry sky blood devil's favorite hiding place was the darkest place. Chen Xiang was currently in the vast starry sky, and the majority of the stars and stars were very far apart, but only a small portion of the stars would emit light. Most of the stars were dead stars with no light on their own, so if they were far away from the stars that glowed, then those areas would be extremely dark. Chen Xiang could see the starlight from all directions. Although it was a little dim, it would not cause the area he was in to become completely dark. How was this starry sky blood devil born? Even though they are in their spirit bodies, they can still suck blood. Chen Xiang was also rather curious about the starry sky blood devil at this time. I don't know. I asked the old men in the Star Moon Divine race, and they don't know much about it either. All they know is that the starry sky blood devil is a little afraid of light. Moreover, these starry sky blood devils have a very long lifespan, and are almost immortal. It's just that their existence is too secretive, and sometimes, even if you go to a dark place, it's hard to find them. Yue replied, only when you're extremely unlucky will you encounter them in the starry sky. Do you know what will happen after they form their fleshly bodies? Chen Xiang was very curious about this and laughed. I really want to catch one or two to research. This thing is very dangerous, it's better not to touch it, lest it gets sucked dry. Yue said, the elders from our clan also don't know how their flesh and blood were formed, but those old men said that undead divine race had done a better research on these things. The undead divine race had existed a long time ago, and was born even earlier than the other three God tribes. Chen Xiang continued to walk forward. He did not know if he could find the Star Law Divine Realm's Azure Dragon's mausoleum. Even if he could, there might not be any powerful beast spirits left behind, but he had to go and take a look. As long as he felt that it was possible, he would not give up. He used the SPAC wind to travel. His speed was extremely fast, and soon he entered a dark area. Something's wrong. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he immediately retreated backwards for a distance. When he returned, he immediately saw light. Yue also understood now that the area Chen Xiang had entered earlier had some kind of mysterious power that prevented the light from entering, preventing it from entering. The Death Star that is the location of the Azure Dragon's mausoleum is just ahead, but there seems to be an extremely large barrier up ahead that covers a star field, causing the interior to become extremely dark. Chen Xiang said before he teleported forward and entered the dark star region. Could it be that he deliberately chose this place as the location of the mausoleum? Would it be safer like this? Yue replied, when I came back that year, I was in too much of a hurry. I didn't discover that there was actually a very large barrier here. Yue, why did you come to this kind of place all those years ago? Right now, Chen Xiang did not continue using the SPAC wind, but was flying in the darkness of the starry sky. At the same time, he opened the Dao Heart Eye and looked around him. Back then, I was a law enforcer and went around arresting people. I chased a guy all the way here and then I met that kind of starry sky blood devil for no reason. Yue said. For safety's sake, Chen Xiang took out the 6 realms mirrors. Sitting on the mirror, he controlled the 6 realms mirrors to release a barrier so that he wouldn't have to worry about being ambushed even if he relaxed. He was very confident in the defense of the 6 realms mirrors. At this time, Chen Xiang paid attention to the large and small death stars that were floating inside. These stars were all dead silent. How do I find it? If the mausoleum were to be buried on these dead stars, it would be impossible to see it like this, Yu Er said. In the ancient legends of the undead divine race, a mausoleum was built by a strange person. You should have heard of it from Elder Wu, right? Chen Xiang said. On that star, as long as I find something like that, it would be the star where the Azure Dragon tomb is located. Is this true? Yuer was in disbelief. How can such a place exist? The strange fellow that Elder Wu mentioned sounds very strong. In this kind of dead star CLU. Esther, without enough energy to support it, they won't be able to become strong. Chen Xiang shook his head. He himself was not sure either, but at the moment, he had only grasped these clues. He could only search for it, if not he would not know how to find it. Just as Chen Xiang was opening the Dao Heart Eye and looking at the death stars in front of him, he suddenly saw a few red specks floating in the starry sky, seemingly moving quickly towards him. He immediately put away the Dao Heart Eye. In front of him was pitch black, and when he used the Dao Heart Eye again, he saw that kind of dense, extremely large number of small dots. I saw it, Chen Xiang exclaimed. You found the Azure Dragon's mausoleum so quickly? Yuer asked in surprise. No, I saw the starry sky blood devil. I saw it with the Dao Heart Eye. There are a lot of them and they move very fast. They were very far away from me, but they are getting closer and closer. Chen Xiang was also a little worried. He was worried that these starry sky blood devil would damage the defense of the Six Realms mirrors. I really met it. Your luck is pretty good. Luckily you can see it. If you could not see it and was still headed towards that place, you would have become a human now. Yuer asked, Can you see what they look like? I can't see. They are already here, and all I can see is a human-shaped red shadow. These things are indeed spirits, but there is a very special kind of energy in their body that allows them to possess special powers. Chen Xiang said. C 2296. C 2296. As Chen Xiang and Yuer were talking, that large wave of starry sky blood devil had already arrived beside him, heavily surrounding him and crazily charging toward the defensive barrier released by the Six Realms mirrors. He, the defense S. HI plus ELD released by the Six Realms mirrors does not have any pressure at all. Seems like this kind of thing only have a special blood-sucking technique. It's not that powerful in other places. Chen Xiang smiled as he took out the chuangs. HI plus GOD furnace. Then, he used his spatial energy to teleport the chuangs. HI plus GOD furnace outside the barrier. How many are there? How on earth are they born? There are millions of people surrounding me right now. Yuer, the last time you were almost sucked dry of your blood, it might not be just one person chasing after you, but tens of thousands instead. Chen Xiang said. When Yuer heard it, she felt guseb. MPS all over. Chen Xiang had these kind of things million times more around him. She felt that she must have had this kind of thing last time. Did I run into the blood devil nest and leave? Fortunately, I have a lot of health left, otherwise I would have died long ago. Yuer sighed in fear. Chen Xiang controlled the chuangs. HI plus GOD furnace to produce a suction force that sucked all the starry sky blood devil in. What are you doing? Yuer asked in shock. Right now she could see everything except the pitch black SPAC. She did not have a Dao Heart Eye. Chen Xiang had the Dao Heart Eye, so he could see that the starry sky blood devil S were like a blood-colored fog that was continuously surging into the chuangs. HI plus GOD furnace. I want to store these things inside the chuangs. HI plus GOD furnace and study them carefully. Chen Xiang laughed. To see if this kind of thing is useful, and to see what kind of strange power they are formed from. I'm afraid that you want to see whether or not you can refine a pill. Yuer laughed and said, What strange thing do you see that makes you want to refine it? Let's take a look first, it's rather boring on the way anyway. Chen Xiang laughed, he indeed had that thought. Very quickly, the starry sky blood devil that surrounded him was absorbed into the chuangs. Hi plus God furnace. Just as he finished collecting them, he saw another red light appear in front of him. There's actually more, Chen Xiang said in shock, but this time he rushed over himself, and even controlled the 6 realms mirrors to release a strong white light. After the 6 realms mirrors flew over, it released a very strong white light. When the starry sky blood devil saw it, they started to flee, with tens of thousands of starry sky blood devils scattered in all directions. The scene was also very spectacular, but only Chen Xiang could see it. These starry sky blood devil are very afraid of the white light, Chen Xiang said. This was a discovery, and their form is a human figure. It seems that after they formed their flesh bodies, they would definitely be in human form. He withdrew the white light and the surrounding starry sky blood devils immediately flew back. It could be seen that these starry sky blood devils did not have much intelligence, they only identified their target and then flew forward with all their might. Just like before, Chen Xiang took out the chuangs. Hi plus God furnace and then released a suction force that sucked all the starry sky blood devil in. No more. Yue asked. It's temporarily gone. Chen Xiang patted the chuangs. Hi plus God furnace. It's filled to the brim, I hope this kind of thing can be useful. Chen Xiang used his mind to carefully observe the interior of the chuangs. Hi plus God furnace, but he did not see anything. After using the Dao Heart Eye, he was shocked. The chuangs. Hi plus God furnace seemed to be filled with thick blood, and with so many starry sky blood devils squeezed together, it actually became blood, just that the blood was in the spirit body state. What exactly is this thing? Chen Xiang used the Dao Heart Eye to mutate and released flames to burn the starry sky blood devil inside. Just as it was set aflame, the chuangs. Hi plus God furnace began to sway slightly. Chen Xiang exclaimed, it can actually produce such a powerful energy. These starry sky blood devil must be birthed from a very special and powerful energy. Chen Xiang was currently refining these starry sky blood devil like refining pills. Before long, all of them had been refined by him into an even thicker red liquid. Hey, you aren't thinking of refining it into a pill and eating it, are you? Yue suddenly felt her scalp go numb. Starry sky blood devil was such a scary item, to actually want to refine it into a pill and eat it. This was something that no one had ever done before. What are you afraid of? There won't be any problems after I refine the pill. As a great pill God, it is necessary for you to try out the pills yourself, Chen Xiang said as he chuckled. He had confidence in the heavenly alchemy. He felt that after being refined by it, the starry sky blood devil would become a pure energy. It all turned into energy. However, when he intended to completely fuse all of the energy, he felt that it was very difficult, not because he couldn't, but because he felt very weak. Even if he used all of his strength, he couldn't succeed. It was possible to fuse them, but his strength was insufficient. It was his first time encountering something like this. Even when his cultivation was very low previously, he would still be able to reach the final stage of condensing a Jingshan Dan. But now, he couldn't even reach the initial stage of the fusion. Could it be that there are too many starry sky blood devils? Chen Xiang was already sweating profusely. Just now, when he was going all out to merge with it, he could clearly feel how terrifying the energy he was trying to compress was. Looks like this is the only way. Chen Xiang made the 6 realms mirrors grow a lot larger, and then placed the chuangs. Hi plus God furnace in the middle of the 6 realms mirrors. You want to borrow the strength of the 6 realms mirrors? Yue could guess at a glance. That's right, many of the array formations in the Six Realms mirrors are natural formations. They can produce very powerful energy, and under my control, these energy can compress the power of the starry sky blood devil within the Chuangs. Hi plus God furnace. After Chen Xiang placed the Chuangs Hi plus God furnace in the middle of the Six Realms mirrors, he began to control the several large formations inside the Six Realms mirrors to combine together. The Six Realms mirrors itself could produce a large amount of Six Realms power as its support, so it would not need to rely on Qin Xiang's power for now. Under Qin Xiang's control, the Six Realms mirrors unleashed a strong power, and under Qin Xiang's control, the power entered the Chuangs Hi plus God furnace. Qin Xiang and the Six Realms mirrors fused perfectly, so the Six Realms mirrors' synergy was also equivalent to Qin Xiang's. When they entered the Chuangs Hi plus God furnace, the Chuangs Hi plus God furnace did not reject them. With the power of the Six Realms mirrors entering the Chuangs Hi plus God furnace, the formless blood clot inside was gradually shrinking. As Chen Xiang continued to compress inside, the originally liquid blood gradually became thicker, and became moist like a clump of mud. At this moment, the lump of item was still very large and unstable. It was trembling slightly, and it was normal for such a situation to occur while compressing energy. It became a solid, looks like it will eventually condense into a Jingshan Dan. Chen Xiang was excited. He never thought that the starry sky blood devil would actually be such a treasure, being able to refine Jingshan Dan-s like this, but there were a lot of them. C-2297. C-2297 Chen Xiang used the Six Realms mirrors' help to accomplish something that he couldn't do with his current strength. Refining so many starry sky blood devil-s with special powers caused it to be extremely difficult for him to do so. Do you really want to eat it? Yue asked. Will something happen to him? We'll talk about it when the refinement is completed. If there are no problems at that time, I'm not afraid. Chen Xiang laughed. Anyway, during the refining process, the other impurities have already been removed by me. The process of compression was extremely long, and the Six Realms mirrors had consumed most of its energy. Chen Xiang had no choice but to channel his divine power into the Six Realms mirrors. Fortunately, he had a very vast Six Realms power in the Divine Sense C, which was enough for the Six Realms mirrors to maintain its energy for a long period of time. 3 days had passed, and Qin Xiang's Chuangs Hi plus God furnace was burning with raging flames, burning the Jingshan Dan that had turned into a blood-colored crystal. Chen Xiang was trying to erase all of the consciousness inside the orb. This way, even if something went wrong, his own consciousness would not be affected in the least. It was refined the same as what Chen Xiang had expected. It was indeed made from a Jingshan Dan. He also decided to eat it now. It was very safe inside the Six Realms mirrors, but in order to make it safer, Chen Xiang flew to a nearby dead star and made a very deep hole that led deep underground. Yue, if anything happens to me, I will need you to save me. Chen Xiang took out a dark red Jingshan Dan from inside the Chuangs Hi plus God furnace, and Yue also came out from the ring. Do you really have a pill in your hand? Yue asked. Why can't I see it? This kind of power is invisible. Even if it is refined into a pill, it would be the same. Only by using the Tao heart I can one see it, but one can still feel it. Chen Xiang pinched the blood demon Jingshan Dan and rubbed it on Yue's little claws. What a magical energy! Yue exclaimed. This pill seems to be invisible. Well, I'm going to eat. Chen Xiang nodded, and then put the pill into his mouth and swallowed it. Yue kept her distance from Chen Xiang, and currently, her heart was thumping non-stop. She was very nervous, afraid that something would happen to Chen Xiang, that she wouldn't be able to do anything to save him when the time comes. Any reaction? Yue whispered. No. Qin Xiang frowned. But the medicinal power is starting to dissolve. There seems to be a reaction. It's very cold. With that said, Qin Xiang felt a chill invading every part of his body, making him shI+ver violently. Hey! Yue shouted in alarm and ran over. Qin Xiang's current appearance was like he had just eaten a poisonous mushroom. He lay on the ground and twitched his body, his eyes turning white. After Yue ran over, she felt a wave of hot air surging out from Qin Xiang's body. This made her feel very strange. Cold, cold to death. Qin Xiang suddenly sat up, hugging his knees, his entire body shI+veering like a bug. But your body is very hot. Yue was stupefied. Qin Xiang's words were extremely cold, but the steam that he was spitting out made people feel like his body was burning. But I feel it's very cold, Qin Xiang said while trembling. Circulate my energy and refine the power of that pellet. Yue hurriedly shouted, you must remember that you just ate a weird pill. It was only then that Qin Xiang suddenly remembered that he had been completely dazed just now. Hearing Yue's reminder, he then revolved the heavenly alchemy and refined the strange energy that was scurrying around in his body. Not long after, Qin Xiang's condition stabilized, and Yue let out a sigh of relief. She had been extremely nervous just now. Yue squatted in front of Qin Xiang, wagging her little tail and carefully looking at him. Once Qin Xiang reacted, she would be worried again. After a long time had said, Yue was suddenly shocked in her heart. Because Qin Xiang's body had suddenly become translucent, she thought she had seen wrongly. She squinted her eyes and rubbed her eyes again, and realized that Qin Xiang's body was becoming more and more transparent. Yue was so shocked that she couldn't speak. She had seen Qin Xiang become a mist before, but that was through using a divine ability. Now, when Qin Xiang was refining the divine pellet, his body slowly disappeared. Not long after, Qin Xiang only left behind a faint afterimage. He was still sitting cross-legged and seriously refining the pill. It has become transparent, just like the starry sky blood devil. Yue finally couldn't see Qin Xiang anymore. She ran over and grabbed at Qin Xiang with her claws. Even his aura doesn't exist anymore. If he can't change back, then wouldn't that mean? Yue didn't dare to imagine that if she lived in a world where no one could see her, she would go crazy. Who said I can't change it? Qin Xiang suddenly laughed, scaring Yue. Hearing Qin Xiang's voice, Yue immediately looked over, only to see a pair of Qin Xiang's eyes floating above her head. Ha ha! Qin Xiang laughed out loud, and then, he completely revealed his body. Just now, he had only revealed 2 of his eyes. Is everything all right? Yue felt a lot more at ease. At the same time, she inwardly cursed under her breath. She had been scared to death just now. Nothing happened at all. I have to say, this power is really magical, Qin Xiang praised. This is a type of counterpower very strange. How so? Yue asked. When I used this power, what happened to me was the exact opposite of what you saw. Qin Xiang said, it's very strange. For example, I felt very cold just now, but you found out that my body is very hot. If I use this kind of power, heat is cold to me, cold is hot. That's because I didn't control it well, so it became like that. Now that I can control it, it becomes normal. Otherwise, I really can't imagine how I would be able to live in a normal world in the future. Yue replied, so, you can make it so that no one can see you? Qin Xiang nodded his head. Actually I exist, but because it's the other way around in your eyes I don't exist like those starry sky blood devils. This is extremely useful to me, even concealing my presence. After Qin Xiang took out the heavenly magic sword and used the counterpower, Yue saw that the heavenly magic sword had suddenly disappeared, but she knew that it was still in Qin Xiang's hands. So sinister! Yue chuckled. What a strange power! Qin Xiang laughed. This will make it more convenient for me. Wait until I go back. I will definitely try to see if Peak Divine Lord can discover me. Let's go, continue looking for the Azure Dragon tomb. At this time, Chen Xiang no longer needed the 6 realms mirrors. He directly made himself transparent and flew around in the starry sky. I feel that the strange and strong thing that built this mausoleum was formed from the body of the starry sky blood devil. Chen Xiang said, so the Azure Dragon's mausoleum must be nearby. C-2298. C-2298 Chen Xiang had heard Wu Ji talk about the creature that built the mausoleum, and how it had such a strange power. Even the undead divine race S with that kind of power couldn't tell what it was, which was why Chen Xiang thought that the creature was evolved from the starry sky blood devil. The reason why Chen Xiang, who was shuttling through the starry sky, had become completely transparent was to prevent himself from being discovered by another wave of starry sky blood devil. In this vast starry sky, there were a lot of starry sky blood devil, and the amount of starry sky blood devil he caught was extremely small. There's another starry sky blood devil up ahead, but they couldn't find me. Maybe I can follow these guys and see where they will go. If they all evolve into that kind of creature, then I might be able to find the location of the Azure Dragon tomb. Chen Xiang said, because the Azure Dragon's mausoleum is currently guarded by those things. In front of them was a very long red-colored belt of light, but only Chen Xiang could see it using his Dao Heart Eye. It was formed by starry sky blood devil, and he didn't know why they were arranged in such an orderly manner. So many. How the hell did they get here? Chen Xiang flew over with a questioning look and followed behind the group of starry sky blood devil. The starry sky blood devil didn't even notice him as he was floating in the starry sky. Their movement speed wasn't very fast, as if they were in deep sleep, and at the same time, they were slowly pulled towards the front by a powerful force. At this time, Chen Xiang had already grasped the special powers of these starry sky blood devils and could use them, so he did not need to capture them for concocting pills. Which way should I go? Chen Xiang looked at the long line of starry sky blood devils. There were no ends in sight. The reason he was at a loss now was because these starry sky blood devil might be being summoned back, because he had killed a lot of them earlier and the thing that made these starry sky blood devil might have found out. Thus, if they followed the direction of the starry sky blood devil, they might be able to find the place where they built it. At the same time, he guessed that the starry sky blood devil was constantly being built, and the direction they were going might be the designated direction, and the opposite direction they were going might be the origin. Let's head in the opposite direction. Chen Xiang smiled inwardly. Having cultivated such a strange counterpower, the decision he had made now was the complete opposite. At the moment they were in an orderly line with many red figures, so they had to wait in a long line in the starry sky. Chen Xiang flew along the line for a few days, and suddenly saw a very large Death Star in front of him. I guessed it right, the source is this Death Star. Chen Xiang looked at the black figure in the distance. In the dark Death Star district, it was only a blurry ball of black chi, but Chen Xiang had the Dao Heart Eye so he could see the silhouette clearly. What a huge Death Star! I've been a law enforcer for so many years, but I've never seen such a huge Death Star. This Death Star is several times bigger than the biggest one among the heavenly stars. Yue exclaimed in admiration. Furthermore, they were hidden very well. The outer sect was intentionally shrouded in a black fog. There must be something on top of it. Chen Xiang nodded his head. If he did not go closer, it would be hard to find him in the distance. Using his Dao Heart Eye, Chen Xiang could clearly see that starry sky blood devil's long line was connecting to this huge Death Star. It's very likely that the Star Technique's Azure Dragon's mausoleum is above this. Chen Xiang felt that even if he was sure that the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was up there, it would still be difficult to find the thing he needed. With a teleportation, Chen Xiang arrived at the Ma.S of black aura emitted by the giant Death Star. As long as he said through this S of black aura, he would be able to clearly see the true appearance of the giant Death Star. It's a barrier. After Chen Xiang came closer, he said with certainty. It seems to be a very strong protective barrier, and it requires a lot of energy to maintain. This barrier has been in operation for many years. Where did the energy come from? To maintain such a strong barrier, only the core of the heaven stage stars is able to afford it. Could it be that there is a heaven stage stars inside? Chen Xiang thought that this was the only way to make this barrier work for many years. He had never encountered such a barrier before. The barrier that he had encountered before was at most a single one, causing him to be unable to move forward. However, the barrier in front of him was able to transform energy into the strength of an iron wall. What a terrifying spirit formation! If it is forcefully attacked, it will be broken through very quickly. Chen Xiang used the power of SPAC to teleport in an attempt to break through, but he had still failed. Even my spatial energy cannot break through. Chen Xiang was shocked again, and then he looked at the place that was emitting red light, the place where the starry sky blood devil was constantly SPAW Ning. He immediately flew over, and discovered that there was only a pinhole-sized hole there, and it was from this pinhole-sized hole that starry sky blood devil squeezed out. Looks like I can only enter from this place. Chen Xiang first used the counterpower to make himself invisible, then used a divine ability to turn his body into a wisp of smoke, and then pierced through the pinhole-sized hole. After entering, he was stunned by a burst of faint blue-green light. He did not expect that the huge Death Star that was wrapped in a S of death energy was actually a beautiful blue-green star. This made him feel as if he had not entered a barrier, but instead entered another world. From high in the sky, he could clearly see that this giant star was covered by a large expanse of blue ocean. I really didn't expect this place to actually have a special domain. Yu'er was also very surprised. She was once the law enforcer of the Star Law Divine Realm, but she didn't know that such a huge heavenly star was hidden in such a place. The greater the heavenly star was, the richer the resources it had. None of the several big heavenly stars in Star Law Divine Realm were bigger than this. Let's go down and take a look. Chen Xiang looked at the long line formed by the starry sky blood devil, and saw that it led to the bottom of the great heavenly star. From high up in the sky, Chen Xiang could see a weak red light emitting from the place where starry sky blood devils were constantly erupting. Of course, it could only be seen by using Dao Heart Eye. Very quickly, Chen Xiang landed on the ground. He still used the counterpower to hide himself. After all, he had arrived at an extremely mysterious place. There was definitely danger here. The air is good, the sun is full, and the temperature is just right. What a place! What was hidden here? To be able to continuously create that kind of terrifying starry sky blood devil. Chen Xiang looked at the red line that connected to the sky. An unending stream of starry sky blood devil was being created and sent to the Death Star area that was filled with darkness. C-2299. C-2299. We'll think about it after we scout around. In any case, there must be other people here, or else there wouldn't be such a powerful spirit formation here. Yu'er said. Chen Xiang nodded, flew into his mouth, and flew towards a direction. At the same time, he paid close attention to the ground below, and not long after, he saw a special God beast. This special God beast had 7 huge tiger heads, and its body was also very large. It was like a small hill, quickly chasing down a huge bear. They are all holy level special God beast, Chen Xiang said. Looks like this heaven stage stars doesn't have as many people as those heavenly stars. This place must have a large amount of resources that have yet to be discovered. It's just that it's too big, I can't find anything by myself. Chen Xiang used the counterpower to make his body invisible, But the seven-headed tiger beast did not notice him. He had followed the seven-headed tiger because he wanted to see if the seven-headed tiger would be able to catch the giant bear in the end. The giant bear was weak, and it was also injured. It knew that it couldn't beat the seven-headed tiger, so it could only run for its life. After an hour, Chun Xiang suddenly heard a dragon's roar, then a red fire dragon appeared out of nowhere. It used its claws to grab the bear's head, and then crushed it to death. Chun Xiang did not realize the sudden appearance of the fire dragon, let alone the seven-headed tiger. However, the seven-headed tiger's reaction was very fast. The moment the fire dragon appeared, it started running, but the fire dragon's reaction was even more so. It swung its flaming dragon tail and swept across, knocking the seven-headed tiger into a stone mountain not far away. "Humph, let me do this all day long." The fire dragon turned into a red-clothed female with a fiery hot figure. She put the corpse of the huge bear into her storage ring with a displeased expression, then flew over to collect the seven-headed tiger as well. "You only know how to bully women. That group of fellows think that they have some ability, but they feel that it's beneath them to do this sort of thing. They always throw it at me." Fire Dragon Girl took out a large piece of meat and roasted it on the ground, cursing non-stop. There was actually a fire dragon with such strength here, to actually be able to easily kill two fierce holy-level special G. Oh, D-Beast, this kind of strength was very strong. "Is it the divine dragon race?" Chen Xiang asked Yue. "It must be the divine dragon race, but aren't they hiding on planet Earth Dragon? Why is there one here?" Yue was also curious. "Aren't you very good at dealing with women? Won't we know if we hook up with her after going down there?" Right now, Chen Xiang could only ask the woman about this. He retrieved the counter power, revealed himself, and then descended to the ground. When he landed, it was very quiet, but Fire Dragon Girl was very sharp. He immediately sensed it and immediately stood up to look at him. "Who are you?" Fire Dragon Girl frowned as she asked coldly, her fists filled with flames. "I am. Just arrived at this planet." Chen Xiang smiled and said, "It's my first time here, so I'm not familiar with it, so I wanted to ask you." "Liar, the outer sect has a powerful barrier, it's even very difficult to enter and exit. How can you easily enter? Tell me, who are you?" "You are not from our dragon race." Fire Dragon Girl's face was full of vigilance, a murderous aura emitting from him. "Then who do you think I am?" Chen Xiang asked with a smile, but he appeared very easygoing. "There is only our dragon clan and evil spirit race here. If you are not from our dragon clan, then you are from the evil spirit race." Fire Dragon Girl said coldly, "If you come any closer, I will immediately kill you. Get lost now, I don't want to kill things like you in this pure land. I'm afraid your blood will make this place barren." "Don't be agitated. I told you I'm from outside. I'm human." Chen Xiang said, "Have you never seen humans before?" "Even though I haven't seen it before, I know that humans don't have the aura of the evil spirit race, and you do." Fire Dragon Girl was getting more and more agitated as he roared at Chen Xiang, "Get lost now, or I'll make my move." Chen Xiang was very gloomy in his heart. Previously, when he had fused with the counterpower, he also had that evil spirit race's chi. "There is a guy in your evil spirit race who has a powerful disguise. Our dragon pearl has suffered a few times, don't think about trying to fool me again." The Fire Dragon Girl said again, "Leave, quickly leave our territory." Chen Xiang now knew that this heaven stage stars was already divided into two areas. One was the area of the evil spirit race, the other was the area of the dragons. "How can you trust my people?" Chen Xiang was now even more sure that the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was here, otherwise there wouldn't be a dragon race stationed here. "How should I know? But you, how are you going to prove that you're human?" As the Fire Dragon Girl slowly retreated, Chen Xiang saw a pearl suddenly appearing in her hands. "Hey, wait, don't send any sound transmissions to your clansmen. I don't want to get into a conflict with you. Chen Xiang suddenly shouted. That's right, does the evil spirit race here know how to refine pills? Divine pills? Fire Dragon Girl asked. They wouldn't, in this place, only the Supreme Dragon Emperor of our dragon race would know how to refine pills. If you knew how to refine divine pellets, or if you possess a divine pill, then it can prove that you are a human being who came from the outside. Good. Tell me, what kind of divine pills do your dragon race have? Let me see if I have any. Chen Xiang said. Dragon Yuanshan Dan, do you have it? Where is the bone level Dan? The Fire Dragon Girl asked. These are the most precious divine pills of our dragon clan. I have bone level Dan, but Dragon Yuanshan Dan doesn't. Chen Xiang immediately took out a high-rank bone level Dan and threw it over. Look, is this a bone level Dan that you are familiar with? Fire Dragon Girl saw Chen Xiang running over and hurriedly caught it, saying, How do I know if it's a bone level Dan? I have never eaten before, I just ate a Dragon Yuanshan Dan. Are you deceiving my bone level Dan? Chen Xiang was a little speechless. Who wants your PPY stuff? Take it back. Fire Dragon Girl was immediately enraged. She forcefully threw it over, then rushed over, no longer speaking any nonsense with Chen Xiang. When Chen Xiang caught the bone level Dan, he immediately dodged to the side to avoid the Fire Dragon Girl's Fire Dragon Fist. Even though you possess 95 divine deity, you do not have a single bones. It's a piece of cake for me to kill you. Chen Xiang used the bones in his eyes and saw through the Fire Dragon Girl's strength with one glance. You? Even if I have to die, I will fight you. As expected of a fire dragon, as explosive as fire, it rushed towards Chen Xiang with no regards for its life. Heavenly Dragon Seal, Dragon Subduing. Chen Xiang quickly formed a seal with his hand, and a few green dragons flew out from Chen Xiang's body and formed a circular green dragon pattern array, enveloping Fire Dragon Girl, who was completely shocked. Heavenly Dragon Seal, how did you do it? Furthermore, the Heavenly Dragon Seals that have been lost for a long time in the history of the White Dragon Clan. Fire Dragon Girl was frozen still, unable to move an inch. C-2300. C-2300 Chen Xiang walked over with a giggle and caressed the smooth and beautiful face of the Fire Dragon Girl, laughing. I already said that I'm a foreigner, yet you refuse to believe me. Die. Fire Dragon Girl roared in anger. He actually dodged it and threw a punch at Chen Xiang's face. Boom! This Fire Dragon Girl's fist carried the flames of an enraged dragon. When it smashed onto Chen Xiang's face, it exploded with a strong flame that blasted Chen Xiang flying. Although Chen Xiang was sent flying, it was only his face that was in pain. He currently had 16 bones and an extremely strong physical body, so even if the Fire Dragon Girl didn't have a single bones, it still wouldn't be able to harm him. Touch my face, I'll give it back to you. Fire Dragon Girl snorted. Alright, now that we're even, can we have a good talk? Her punch actually did not make Chen Xiang vomit blood. She suspected that this fellow before her was really a human, and from what she knew, a human's body was as weak as mud. Just a moment ago, she was still worried that she would beat Chen Xiang to death. How did you get in? Our Dragon Emperor said that it would be difficult to get in and out. Fire Dragon Girl's current attitude was much better. She was sure that Chen Xiang wasn't from that evil spirit race, otherwise she would have died a long time ago. She could clearly feel the difference between her and Chen Xiang. Isn't that the exit from Starry Sky Blood Devil? I used the art of change to turn into a wisp of smoke, and then drilled my way in. Chen Xiang pointed to the direction in which Starry Sky Blood Devil was Gus. H.I.+ing out continuously. You can see those things? The Fire Dragon Girl had a lot of questions, and then he asked. The transformation techniques are also a secret of our divine dragon race, and only Bai Long understands. The white dragon lineage has disappeared for a long time. Where did you learn them from? One of my wives is by long. Where do you think I learned that from? She taught me. Qin Xiang laughed mischievously. In the past she always followed me, I miss her a lot too. A while ago, she fell for a black dragon flower poison. I spent a lot of effort to refine a divine pill to cure her of the poison. Then how did you see that? I can only see it with this. Fire Dragon Girl took out a transparent crystal and gave it to Qin Xiang. Qin Xiang could see the starry sky blood devil through the crystal. The method I'm cultivating can make my eyes extremely sharp, so I could see that you don't have bones on you. Qin Xiang asked, "What is this crystal? What our Dragon Emperor has refined is very precious. I only got my reward after killing many strange beasts." Fire Dragon Girl hurriedly put it away. It seemed like the crystal was incomparably precious in her eyes. I really didn't expect that White Dragon would actually marry a human. Fire Dragon Girl snorted. That's nothing, you can marry me too. My White Dragon wife definitely won't object. She might even be very happy to have a Fire Dragon sister. Qin Xiang laughed. Don't even think about it. Fire Dragon Girl snorted. Also, why do you have evil spirit race's aura on your body? I found a lot of starry sky blood devil on the way, and then I caught 1,000,000 or so and refined them into pills to eat. Then, I would have that ability on me. Qin Xiang was also very curious. How did you find out that aura on my body? Why didn't I sense it myself? This. Fire Dragon Girl took out a red pearl. This was originally transparent, but when you approached it, it turned red. Our dragon race have suffered at the hands of the evil spirit race, and they had humans who infiltrated our dragon race. But in order to prevent such a thing from happening, our Dragon Emperor refined this kind of thing. Qin Xiang nodded, closed his eyes, and completely hid the piece of counterpower on his body deep within the divine sense sea. It's not red anymore. Fire Dragon Girl was a little surprised. I never thought that you could actually control evil spirit race's power so easily. Oh right, you have the power of the evil spirit race. What abilities do you have? You get me a little fireball. Qin Xiang laughed. Fire Dragon Girl flicked his finger and released a small ball of fire. Qin Xiang hurriedly caught it and released the counterpower. The ball of fire hit his palm and turned into a pool of water. Reversal. Fire Dragon Girl nodded. This is indeed evil spirit race's power. Then she looked at the bead and it turned red again. Qin Xiang laughed. Impressive. Do you want this power? I can go capture some starry sky blood devil s right now and refine them into pills for you to eat. There's no need. If they find out, I will be chased out of the dragon race and treated as a traitor. Fire Dragon Girl immediately shook his head. You have the 95 bones and will soon be full. With 9 more bones, you will be at the peak, Qin Xiang said. Could it be that you lack a lot of Dragon Clan bone level, Dan? Why haven't you eaten a single pellet? You have 95 divine deity, which means that your talent is not bad. Speaking of this matter, Fire Dragon Girl snorted, and used the whip in his hand to beat the GRAS on the ground. I'm a girl, if they don't give me food they will waste their bones, and they will even say that we're responsible for laying the eggs. You are the GOD of pills. Will you give the bone level Dan to your white dragon wife to eat? It seemed like she was very unhappy about his position in the dragon clan. Of course. She ate my divine pellet as if she was eating beans. She ate the pellet that I made to become stronger. Qin Xiang laughed. You can follow me. There are plenty of bone level Dan. Qin Xiang liked this kind of beautiful dragon with great potential very much. After bluffing it over, he would give it to LV Qilian. In that way, LV Qilian's Hundreds of Flowers village would have another powerful divine dragon in the future. By the way, what's your name? Qin Xiang asked. Long Pei Jin. How about you, human? Long Pei Jin had almost agreed to follow him around in her heart, but she was still more rational. She knew that she still wasn't completely clear of Qin Xiang, and she didn't completely believe in his words either. Qin Xiang. Do you want to return with me to the Dragon Pearl? If you know how to refine pills, our Dragon Emperor might really welcome you. Long Peijin said. Well, I'm going. What will you do if the Dragon Clan bullies me? Qin Xiang said worriedly. I'm worried that I might clash with them, so I don't plan to go for now. I just want to ask you about the evil spirit race. And why are the dragons trapped here? Qin Xiang was very sure that the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was right here. It was just that the star was so huge, and it would not be easy for him to find the Azure Dragon's mausoleum. Moreover, he was certain that the Dragon Clan knew where the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was. They were responsible for protecting the Azure Dragon's mausoleum here. Qin Xiang was here to dig a grave. He definitely could not ask the Azure Dragon's mausoleum directly, as that would arouse the dragon race's suspicions. C-2301. C-2301 Qin Xiang was the first human that Long Peijin had ever seen, and she was also very strong, much stronger than her. She also had many strange things on her body, and she felt that bringing Qin Xiang back to the clan would definitely cause a lot of trouble, and she knew about all the old antiques in the clan very well. That's right. If you follow me back, you might end up in conflict with those arrogant fellows. Long Peijin sighed. But you yourself are also in danger of going to the outer sect. If you go to the evil spirit race's side and get caught by them, it will be even more troublesome. Then do you know about the evil spirit race? Why are your dragon race and evil spirit race on top of this star? Qin Xiang asked. Evil spirit race is a group of eating corpse ghosts. They specifically wanted to eat the dead bodies of those powerful heavenly beasts. Their beautiful names said that they were helping to build a mausoleum, but their goal was to devour the heavenly beast's divine soul and body. Long Peijin replied, Those fellows just want to eat our dragon clan's green dragon protector. So, the Azure Dragon died here? Qin Xiang was sure about it long ago. It was just that he did not know where the Azure Dragon was buried at the moment. What is it? You are also interested in our Azure Dragon ancestor? Even though his mausoleum was constructed by the evil spirit race, it was fortunate that our dragon race arrived quickly, so we were able to snatch it away in time. The Azure Dragon tomb is currently guarded by our dragon clan's strongest 10 old dragons. If you feel that your strength is strong enough, you can go try it out. Long Peijin said. How strong are the strongest old dragons in your dragon race? Is there your dragon emperor inside? Qin Xiang asked. They are all as strong as our dragon emperor. They are only responsible for matters outside, so if you want to enter the Azure Dragon tomb, you have to first defeat the dragon emperor and the rest of us. Long Peijin crossed his arms across his chest and said, You wouldn't really be thinking of entering the Azure Dragon tomb, right? Qin Xiang originally thought that the Azure Dragon tomb had been occupied by the evil spirit race, but didn't expect that the dragon race had already completely taken control. I'm just curious and want to go in and take a look. However, after hearing you say that, I feel that it's better to just forget about it. Qin Xiang did not want to barge in, because Long Shui was her woman and the Azure Dragon in Nine Heaven World was his good friend, so he did not want to offend the divine dragon race here. He planned to sneak in. He was very confident in his own abilities. Miss Long, why is there such a strong barrier around this star? It wrapped up the entire sky star. Isn't it a bit of a waste for such a large planet to be in the center of Star Law Divine Realm? The biggest star in the outside world is much smaller than this one. Qin Xiang asked. Was that enchantment created by the evil spirit race? Of course not. This is the birthplace of the Azure Dragon. This star is the home given to him by the heavens. It can also be considered the hometown of our divine dragon race. Not only the Azure Dragon, even the white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise have similar stars. However, they do not have their own species, so when the mausoleum is not protected, they are all occupied by the evil spirit race. Long Peijin said. Is there such a thing? Wouldn't the mausoleum of the other 3 divine beasts have already suffered? This way, he would have to think of a way to find the divine soul of the other 3 divine beasts. I don't know either. In short, all the divine beasts will think of ways to protect their own bodies before they die. Long Peijin shook his head. I'm going back. If I'm a little late, I'll be scolded again. Actually, I think it's better if you come back with me to take a look. If you're rejected by them, you can come out again. Chen Xiang considered for a moment, then nodded his head. All right, I'll follow you back to take a look. Long Peijin warned him again, when the time comes, do not use that evil spirit race's power. I don't think it's anything important, but those old fellows don't think so. All right. Chen Xiang promised Long Peijin. He knew that he couldn't let the dragon race know that he was in control of the counterpower, as it would bring him a lot of trouble. Chen Xiang followed Long Peijin back to the dragon clan. On the way, he found out that Long Peijin had a lot of complaints about the dragon clan, because she was looked down upon in the clan and was often bullied by both men and women. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to cultivate out the 95 divine deity. Why do they want to bully you? Chen Xiang said. Is there a problem with you? Otherwise, there's no way women of the same race would be like that. Furthermore, you are also very beautiful, so you should be in a better group. This is related to my father. My father committed a grave mistake and was executed when I was just born. My mother committed suicide out of love. Speaking of this matter, Long Peijin didn't reveal any sort of sorrowful expression. Chen Xiang wasn't able to capture anything from her expression, so it was hard to tell what she was thinking at this moment. When I was young, I performed very well. I could often win in battles, and those who lose to me wouldn't be convinced. I would often take my parents as an example. Because of this, I was often locked up, and as time went by, I became a bad kid, and no one played with me anymore. Long Peijin could only sigh. What made Chen Xiang admire her more was that although she did not have a good treatment in the clan, she had a very strong sense of responsibility towards her family. From the way she fought with Chen Xiang just now, she could tell. Since Long Peijin was able to cultivate to the 95th divine deity, she must have received some care, otherwise it would be very difficult. It was just that she was not favored by the older generation, while the younger generation had enmity with her, which caused them to not be in the same group. Chen Xiang followed Long Peijin for more than 2 hours, and finally saw the empire that the divine dragon race was building. It was huge, and from afar it looked like a huge city. Do you have a lot of dragons here? Chen Xiang asked. Isn't this city too big? It's just over 10,000 compared to the evil spirit race. We are considered to be very little. Long Peijin said. There are so many dragons. When Chen Xiang thought about the tens of thousands of giant dragons dancing in the air, he felt very scary. This was another branch of the divine dragon race, and one that was very strong. Long Peijin brought Chen Xiang to the entrance of the city. There was a small door there specially for entering and exit. Seeing that Long Peijin had brought back a very unfamiliar person, those gray-haired old guards were all very surprised. They were also very vigilant, and took out a transparent pearl one after another. Who is he? Of course they would not let Long Peijin bring Chen Xiang in. He's a human. He accidentally broke into the barrier. I was worried that he would be killed outside by the evil spirit race, so I brought him back. I've confirmed his identity. 1. Tai, he's not a evil spirit race. Long Peijin said. Seeing that Long Peijin did not tell him that he knew about the arts of change, Chen Xiang thought that Long Peijin must be thinking of him. After all, this was a more precious technique of the White Dragon bloodline, and it had already been spread when the White Dragon bloodline went to the Nine-Heaven world. C-2302. C-2302. He really is a human from the outside. The 2 gatekeeping elders were still hesitating. They held the transparent pearl and circled it around Chen Xiang, and even moved it closer to Chen Xiang's forehead. My two grandfathers, do you think that the evil spirit race will have bone level Dan? This guy has it, and his bone level Dan is different from the ones I have seen before. Although Long Pei Jin looked carefree on the outside, she was extremely meticulous right now. She didn't say that Chun Xiang was the pill G.O.D., she definitely had her own reasons for doing so. Take it out and take a look. Evil Spirit Race did not know how to refine pills, because Evil Spirit Race's cultivation method was different from theirs, so he did not need the assistance of Divine Pellet. Greetings, seniors. This is for you. Please take care of me in the future. After all, I still don't know when I'll be able to leave this Ned place. Chun Xiang took out 2 Shangpin bone level Dan S and handed them over to the 2 old dragons. One of the elderly men took the bone level Dan and stroked its beard, exclaiming, "This is a Shangpin bone level Dan, and the quality is very high as well, high quality, very rare. The Dragon Emperor himself refined high quality, they were all given to the best quality." Long Pei Jin never thought that Chun Xiang would actually gift her 2 pellets of Shangpin bone level Dan. This was extremely precious to her. Even low-rank bone level Dan was an extravagant hope for her. She had never eaten one before. Seniors, you two truly have good eyesight. You can tell with a single glance. Chun Xiang laughed. Please accept this. Chun Xiang, Ling Yulan and Long Huishan, as well as the Azure Dragon, were all unsettled people. He guessed that the Dragon Emperor must have been forced to do the same, so he could only obediently refine the pills, otherwise the Dragon clan would not be able to develop. It's really for us. One of the elders was already secretly excited. Of course, I mean it. Chun Xiang laughed. However, this matter cannot be spread out for the time being, otherwise too many people would ask me for it. I only have a few pills right now. The 2 seniors will be guarding the city gate. The mission is extremely difficult. My strength is definitely very strong. In the future, please give me some convenience or something. Chun Xiang was not just talking about flattery. He could already tell that these 2 dragons were thunder dragons with 100 GODS level and 5 bones. This kind of dragon was definitely stronger than the other dragons. Otherwise they would not have used it to guard the gate. As long as you are a true human, we welcome you. Don't worry, our words are quite useful within the clan. An old man laughed and kept the bone level Dan. It's not like that from the outside. I've long heard that there are many outstanding alchemists outside the barrier, and the divine pills that are refined are all of good quality. Evil Spirit Race didn't even know how to refine pellets, let alone take out 2 pellets of high-quality Shangpin bone level Dan. Therefore, these 2 old dragons already believed Chun Xiang's words. Just like this, Chun Xiang easily bribed the 2 old dragons guarding the gate, and Long Pei Jin entered the city. For example, the things that Long Pei Jin went out to hunt were distributed to everyone here. They all noticed Chun Xiang and asked him who he was one after another, but Long Pei Jin did not say a single word. Previously, she had said that she was not very popular here, so she was too lazy to bother with him as long as he could pass the 2 old dragons guarding the door. As far as she was concerned, she did not need to explain any further. Fifth Master, can you give me a few days of vacation for the 2 things I killed this time? Long Pei Jin said. All right. You can rest for a month. Come back and report to me in a month. Then, he looked towards Chun Xiang. Who is this young lad? Why have I never seen him before? Of course not. He was a human who accidentally entered the spirit formation. I brought him back. Long Pei Jin replied. She had talked so much with the old man, it could be seen that her relations HI+P with him was not bad. So it's like that. I'm sure he's not evil spirit race. Fifth Elder had just asked, and knew that he had asked too many questions. If he was not sure, Chun Xiang would not be able to come in. Because there were many dragons on the road who saw Long Pei Jin bringing in an unfamiliar man, they were very curious, so they asked Long Pei Jin, and Long Pei Jin did not reply. Thus, they all ran to the door to ask the two old dragons, who were guarding the door. Chen Xiang felt that there was a high possibility that the Azure Dragon's mausoleum was in this city, so he did not plan to barge in. Right now, he could only stay here for a few days to see if there were any other ways to smoothly enter the mausoleum. Long Peijin brought a genuine person back, and this matter quickly spread across the entire dragon clan. There were constructed stone houses within this city, and there were also many mountains and rivers, and Long Peijin was in the middle of a field far away from the stone houses, which was a cave. At this time, outside Long Peijin's cave, there were a lot of dragons watching. They all wanted to meet this so-called human, and most of the dragons had never seen this kind of person before. Actually, they were more curious about what the outside world looked like. Little Flame, don't hide the treasure. Quickly let him come out and meet with everyone. This was the voice of a woman. It was charming and full of power. That's right, that's right. Quickly, tell him to come out and tell us what happened outside. Little Flame, we have never offended you before, right? How could those people who have enmity with you dare to come out with a thick face? They're all not here. Chen Xiang, who was inside the cave, laughed. Seems like I'm really popular, huh? It's only a little bit of warmth. Once they satisfy their curiosity, you might get a little bit of advice from them. Long Peijin said. Afterwards, she walked to the entrance of the cave and shouted, You bunch of bored bastards. If you have the time, why are you slacking off here? Humans are just like that, and there's nothing to be surprised about. Get out of my way, don't disturb my rest. Very quickly, everyone had left, and they knew Long Peijin's personality. Usually, they would not care about Long Peijin, but now that they were suddenly so attentive, it was not strange for Long Peijin to be like this. Peijin, what mistake did your father commit to receive such severe punishment? Chen Xiang asked. He knew that Long Peijin did not avoid matters like this, so he boldly asked. C-2303. C-2303, kill your own kind. There is a rule in the clan that no matter how much conflict there is, we cannot kill him. My father is the only dragon here that violated the clan's rules. Long Peijin was busy pouring out various types of fruit juice from two gourds and was concocting something. Although it was not done, the fragrance was already wafting everywhere. That's why I was thought to have inherited my father's bloodline since I was young. I was worried that I would make the same mistake, so no one dared to come close to me, and the stronger ones were not afraid of me. They even intentionally angered me. Long Peijin handed a bowl of fruit juice over. Chen Xiang took a sip and laughed. Not bad, I didn't think a strong, burly fire dragon girl like you would actually know how to make this fruit juice. I like the taste, there's more here. Long Peijin poured another cup for Chen Xiang, and she felt that she was pretty good. Chen Xiang downed the cup in one gulp, and just as he picked up the other, he heard someone shouting from outside, Long Peijin, hurry up and bring that human out, my father wants to see him. This voice was very unfriendly and carried a very arrogant tone. Scram! Long Peijin roared. The sound of her roars was accompanied by the sound of a dragon's roar, showing how angry she was. Chen Xiang had also received a huge shock, and just now, he had clearly felt Long Peijin's killing intent. Previously, Long Peijin said that they were not allowed to kill one another in the clan, but she had such a strong killing intent. Little girl, don't not know what's good for you. No matter what, I am still considered to be an elder. If you are to be rude to your elders, you will be punished. It was an aged voice with a hint of coldness and threat. Scram! Long Peijin shouted again. Long Peijin, I am, after all, the holy grandson of the dragon race, and my father is an elder of the dragon race. Long Peijin no longer paid attention to them. He only took out a large piece of meat and cut it into small pieces, preparing to roast it for Chen Xiang to eat. Very quickly, the father and son left the room. Chen Xiang asked, Peijin, why do you hate this guy so much? Do you want me to help you take care of him? No need. This father and son pair are extremely hypocritical. Only I know how evil and malicious they are. My mother would never have committed suicide back then, but they slandered her, saying that she was also involved in the massacre of her own kind. Also, that Longing plotted against me in the past. Fortunately, I knew that they were all villains since I was young, thus I paid great attention to my own strength, otherwise, I would have been tainted by that B.A.S.T.A.R.D. Chen Xiang frowned. This is too bad, this is a irreconcilable hatred. Perhaps the matter of your father killing your own clan members is related to that elder. I don't know, and I don't have any evidence either. Anyway, there are some guys in the family who are uneasy and kind. Long Peijin said. If Dragon Emperor wants to see you, I can relax and let you go. For all these years, it was the elderly Dragon Emperor who secretly helped me. Now that Dragon Emperor is in closed-door cultivation, if he comes out, he will definitely meet you. Chen Xiang nodded his head. Peijin, why didn't you tell everyone about the father and son duo? Haven't you told Dragon Emperor? No one would believe it even if it was spread out. The father and son duo here have a very good image. They have won the respect and trust of many people. I also told Dragon Emperor before, but every time Dragon Emperor heard me say this, they would always avoid me. After Chen Xiang heard this, he said, it's obvious that Dragon Emperor knows what kind of people they are, but he did not attack them. Was it because they are very strong? Or did they have any weakness within the Dragon Emperoress? Previously, the Everlasting Mountain was controlled by the Dan Godinsti Toot because of him. I'm not sure. If he wanted to understand, he would have to capture the father and son duo and interrogate them fiercely before he could find out. However, this required strength. Longing is one of the sacred sons, and he isn't weak either. But Long Jinrong is an elder with 100 GODS level and 7 to 8 bones S. I am no match for him. Long Peijin actually had the thought of capturing this pair of father and son. If they are truly that bad, I can actually help you. I can even figure out what other wicked things they have done. I have the ability to search other people's memories. Chen Xiang laughed. We can't stay here for the time being, right? Why don't you take me out for a walk? We'll go out tomorrow morning. We'll rest today. Long Peijin pointed to a stone room. You can rest here tonight. I'm a bit tired now, so I'll go rest first. After the sky turned dark, Chen Xiang did not rest. Instead, he laid on his bed, quietly released a wisp of his divine soul, and floated in the air as he observed the entire city. There were no stars in the sky, and Chen Xiang did not know where the moon had come from either. He felt that the moonlight was different from the one he was familiar with. There weren't any enchantment formations or anything like that in the city, so Chen Xiang's divine soul could be used as he wished. Right now, he was looking for the location of the Azure Dragon Tomb, and at the same time, wanted to see where the father and son duo, Longing and Longing, were. Very quickly, Chen Xiang found Longing. As he walked along the road alone, his clothes were a little messy, and his face was even full of intoxication. Longing was living in a big house in the stone hut area. Right after he returned, Long Jinrong anxiously jumped out and said sternly, "You went out again to enjoy life, why are you still not being obedient?" "Father, am I not in a bad mood? That slut, Long Peijin actually dares to treat us in such a manner. If she falls into my hands, I will definitely make her suffer a fate worse than death," Longing said with a face full of viciousness. "Sooner or later, she will be yours. Why are you in such a hurry? Let's talk inside," Long Jinrong said in a serious tone. Chen Xiang thought this father and son pair were really the same as what Long Peijin had said. They were both B.A.S.T.A.R.D.S. that were very bad, and they were even plotting something right now. "Father, as long as I gain the qualifications to enter the mausoleum, I will definitely be able to find what we want." Long Ingi sneered. At that time, even the Dragon Emperor would have to kneel before us. I've already contacted the evil spirit race. That way, you will be able to use the treasure that I have refined to bring the evil spirit race to the grave. Long Jinrong said, during this period of time, you must definitely cultivate properly, don't make any mistakes at critical moments. Right now, I am the #1 saint son in the family. Who can be my opponent? Long Ingi said with complete confidence. I know, but this is very important. Once we succeed, we will be able to rule this planet. The entire dragon race will have to listen to us. Long Jinrong said sternly, you must stay here obediently for this period of time. If you make a mistake, I won't forgive you. All right, I'll go rest now. After Long Ingi finished, he went back to his room. After that, he ran to Long Peijin's stone room in the middle of the night. These stone rooms had no doors, so he directly entered them. Long Peijin was extremely vigilant. Upon sensing someone entering, he immediately jumped up from the bed and shouted angrily, What are you trying to do? Peijin, don't misunderstand, I have something important to tell you. Chen Xiang said softly, It is very important. If I am to do anything to you, do you think you can stop me? C-2304. C-2304, what's important? Speak. Long Peijin snorted. She did not completely trust Chen Xiang either, so she was careful when she rested. Long Ingi and his father have secretly allied with the evil spirit race. They are currently scheming to help the evil spirit race enter the Azure Dragon's mausoleum. Chen Xiang said. How is that possible? Although they are despicable, they wouldn't collude with outsiders, right? Long Peijin was a little surprised and said, What's more, it's not easy to enter the mausoleum, even if it's the Dragon Emperor's themselves, it's very difficult to enter. Is that so? I heard them say that as long as you get any qualifications, you can enter the Azure Dragon tomb. Also, who does Long Ingi think he is? He is very confident in himself. Chen Xiang asked, Does your dragon clan have such a matter? Hearing Chen Xiang's question, Long Peijin was greatly shocked, and hurriedly said, There is indeed such a thing, and every once in a while, the Azure Dragon tomb will be open for a while. Only dragons with the right to enter are allowed, and there is only one spot at a time. Now do you believe me? I only found out when I eavesdropped on them. What kind of consequences would there be if the evil spirit race were allowed to enter the Azure Dragon tomb? Chen Xiang asked. Right now, the evil spirit race is about the same as us. Once they enter the mausoleum and devour the Azure Dragon's body, their strength will increase greatly. At that time, we will not be a match for the evil spirit race. Long Peijin frowned. This is troublesome. How do I qualify? At that time, wouldn't it be fine if we obstruct him and prevent him from obtaining the qualifications to enter? Chen Xiang laughed. This is not difficult, or you should go and tell the other elders. Reveal the plot of the father and son duo. No, the father and the son are very prestigious in the family. The other elders will not believe me. Long Peijin said, and because I am a girl, I cannot partake. 1. P. 8 in the qualification test, otherwise I will definitely stop him. What qualification test is it? Can I partake? 1. P8? Chen Xiang laughed. I actually want to go to the Azure Dragon tomb to take a look. You. Long Peijin looked at Chen Xiang, his eyes lighting up. Maybe, but whether you can partake 1. P8 in it or not will have to depend on Great Clan Elder. Our Dragon Emperor is currently in closed-door cultivation. At that time, he might not be able to come out. Furthermore, he is not normally responsible for such things. He is usually handed over to the Great Clan Elder. If you want to partake 1. P8, you just need to take care of Great Elder. Although Great Elder is usually rather strict, he is still quite good to us juniors in private. Chen Xiang understood what Long Peijin meant. It was to let him use the bone level Dan to let the Great Clan Elder take control of the situation. Speaking of which, I'm a human. If I successfully obtain the right to enter, would you dragons feel indignant? Chen Xiang laughed. The dragon race lacked a lot of divine pellets, and Chen Xiang just so happened to have a lot. He felt that he would be able to take care of that great clan elder. However, he was a little worried. If he obtained the right to enter, then the Long family would make a ruckus and not allow him to enter. Then, all his efforts would be in vain. In the end, whether or not we can enter depends on the Azure Dragon's consciousness. Although the Azure Dragon is already dead, he still left behind a bit of consciousness. When that time comes, as long as we can step through the door of the mausoleum, our dragon clan will not say anything. Long Peijin said, "You have to know that quite a few dragons pass," said the qualification examination and obtained first place, yet in the end, they were unable to enter that door. Once every 100 years, however, there aren't many who are truly qualified. All right, tomorrow, bring me to see your great elder. Chen Xiang nodded. He did not know if he would be able to step through the door in the end. If he succeeded, it would be the easiest way for him to enter the Azure Dragon tomb. At dawn, Long Peijin cooked some food for Chen Xiang. She wasn't very familiar with humans, but she had to eat something every day in order to feel comfortable, so she believed that humans also needed to eat something in the morning. It was true that ordinary people had to eat it, but with Chen Xiang's cultivation, eating a pill was enough. Of course, he was only addicted to eating and trying out the taste. Let's go, I'll take you to see the great elder. Don't talk too much on the way and ignore them, Long Peijin said. Chen Xiang followed Long Peijin out of the cave, arriving at the bustling group of stone houses. This is a human. It's not anything special, but it seems to be a lot more spirited than the one that evil spirit race is impersonating. Their faces are pretty good too. Those BASTARDS from the evil spirit race are really too ugly to look at. Why did so many idiots believe them back then? Little fire girl, did you torture him all night last night? Otherwise, why is he not saying anything now? He probably got very tired from all the work. The man laughed out loud. In the eyes of these dragons, being able to spend the night with Long Peijin in the same cave was very capable. Although Long Peijin did not belong to any group, there were many male dragons that wanted to conquer her. Chen Xiang only felt that he was speechless. He dared to say whatever they wanted to say, and now he understood why Long Peijin did not want to bother with them. Long Peijin brought Chen Xiang to the exterior door of a large stone house. She knocked on the door and shouted, "Great clan elder, are you free right now?" A white-haired old man with a serious expression opened the stone door, his eyes filled with sternness. "Peijin, is this the human you picked up?" The great clan elder looked at Chen Xiang, then took out a transparent pearl and waved it in front of Chen Xiang. Seeing that there was nothing strange with the pearl, he nodded his head. "It is not evil spirit race." On the way here, there were quite a few dragons holding these pearls walking around him in order to see if he was truly evil spirit race. "Come in and speak." Although the great clan elder looked to be fierce, he was easy to talk to. He invited Chen Xiang and Long Peijin into the house. After entering, Long Peijin went straight to the point and said, "Great clan elder, his name is Chen Xiang, and he himself did not know the reason to enter the enchantment, so he did not have anywhere to go. I was worried that he might be captured by the evil spirit race, so I brought him back." The great elder nodded. "It is indeed very dangerous outside. Bringing him in is also not bad. It will allow us to understand the world outside the spirit formation. Little guy, can you tell me something?" "Of course you can. What kind of things do you want to hear?" Chen Xiang asked. "Listen to about Divine Dragon Race. Divine Dragon Race is one of the 4 divine races and also the strongest race of the God race." The great elder was a little excited. He was the one sent by the Divine Dragon Race to guard the Azure Dragon Tomb, and so many years had Pa said in the blink of an eye. Divine Dragon Race is still alright, their clan wasn't exterminated, but they are still hiding now, they have been hiding for a long time, so I do not know much about the situation in Divine Dragon Race recently. Chen Xiang sighed. The Divine Dragon Race was actually planning to hide, which made the great clan elder and Long Peijin extremely suspicious of Chen Xiang's words. C-2305. C-2305 Chen Xiang saw their expressions and said, I only know that the strong warriors in the Divine Dragon Race were mostly infected by black dragon flower poison, and that it was all done by those heavenly star great leaders in the Star Law Divine Realm. What the hell is going on? How could such a thing happen in Star Law Divine Realm? Could it be that the humans are too jealous of our Divine Dragon Race, so they exterminated us all? The Great Elder said angrily. Of course not, your Divine Dragon Race is considered good. The entire undead Divine Race has been wiped out, and only a few scattered undead remain. Chen Xiang then explained everything he knew about this matter. After hearing it, the Great Elder lamented, the human heart is not the same. The Star Law Divine Realm has actually turned out like this. Back then, our Azure Dragon ancestor clearly knew that his lifespan was coming to an end. Didn't he also make the decision? Chen Xiang replied, Divine Dragon Race should be able to regain his vigor soon. At that time, Star Law Divine Realm will definitely fight. If the Divine Dragon Race and the other two G.O.D. tribes join forces, they should be able to obtain decent strength. Great Elder Chen Xiang also wants to partake 1. P8 in the qualification examination, and he also wants to see the Azure Dragon's mausoleum. Long Peijin said. This was the reason they had come to find the great clan elder today. This, I'm afraid, is a bit inappropriate. After all, he's a human. The great elder shook his head. Great clan elder, Chen Xiang being able to come here will be of great help to our dragon clan. Long Peijin continued. I am only giving him the right to partake 1 P8 in the qualification examination. In the end, whether or not he can enter the Azure Dragon tomb will be decided by his Azure Dragon consciousness. Chen Xiang immediately took out 2 high-grade bone-level Dan-s and smiled. Great clan elder, I heard from Peijin that you guys are lacking this kind of divine pills, please do not be polite. When the great clan elder saw the 2 divine pellets, his old eyes went wide with shock as he exclaimed, type in bone-level Dan. Truly, this is only a little bit of kindness from this junior. Great Elder, there's no need to be so polite. Chen Xiang giggled as he said the type in Dan over. To be honest, I have another reason for partake 1 P. aiding in the qualification examination, and that is to see how much stronger I am compared to the geniuses of your dragon clan. Long Peijin had previously hinted at Chen Xiang to use a few bone-level Dan to bribe the great clan elder. At that time, she had thought that Chen Xiang only knew how to use Shangpin bone-level Dan. The great clan elder felt that Long Peijin's words were reasonable, it was just letting Chen Xiang partake 1 P. 8 in the assessment, and it was not certain if he would be able to enter in the end. If Chen Xiang could really enter the Azure Dragon tomb, then their entire clan would have nothing to say, since they had obtained the recognition of the Azure Dragon. Since this young lad is so enthusiastic, I'm too embarrassed said to refuse. Thank you very much. The great clan elder remembered that the last time he saw this bone-level Dan with good quality, it was a long time ago. Furthermore, the majority of the pills that Dragon Emperor refined were rather bad. Even if he could get them, they would not be of much help to him. But the quality of these type-in bone-level Dan were different. Perhaps they could help him condense bones. In 12 days you can come and find me. I'll take you to partake 1 P8 in the qualification examination. The great elder said. After settling this matter, Chen Xiang and Long Peijin felt much more relaxed. They thought that it wouldn't work if they did, and had to think of another way then. Returning to Long Peijin's cave, Long Peijin said, You actually know how to refine type in Dan. It looks like your pill refining skills are much higher than Dragon Emperor's. You can see it from Great Clan Elder's expression. Do you want to eat bone level Dan to cultivate your bones now? Chen Xiang laughed. Your foundation isn't bad, and it's relatively easy for you to start cultivating your bones. It's just that you have to endure quite a bit of pain. You might not have ever experienced this kind of pain before. Didn't you say you don't have many bone level Dan? You should keep it for yourself. Although Long Peijin wanted it, she thought that she should leave it for Chen Xiang, since he would need to use the bone level Dan to please the elders of the dragon race. I do not have many bone level Dan, but I have some divine medicine that I can refine at any time. Chen Xiang took out a few middle-ranked bone level Dan and gave them to Long Peijin. Long Peijin now had 95 divine deity, so her body must be very strong as well, so when she was training her first bones, using shopping bone level Dan S was not possible. Take it. Chen Xiang stuffed it into Long Peijin's hands and then explained the main points of condensing bones to her. Long Peijin remembered this in her heart, because if she wanted to become stronger, cultivating bones was something she had always been hoping for. After she entered her stone room, Chen Xiang went back to concoct pills. He had time now, and with the many bone level Dan's divine medicines in his possession, if he wanted to concoct more now, he would have to give out a large amount when he returned to Tsang Cloud City. After a few hours, Chen Xiang could hear the faint moans of pain, causing him to be secretly shocked. To actually be able to condense the number 1 bones after only eating 1 pellet, it's pretty amazing. Yue also heard it and smiled. It seems that with your help, she will be able to condense a lot of bones very quickly. If I can successfully refine the bone-level fruit into a pill, maybe my bones will increase even more. When Chen Xiang thought back to his experience of condensing the 8th bones, he felt extremely refreshed. Chen Xiang continued to refine pills. He might need bone-level Dan S here too. He felt that it would be easy to use them to bribe the divine dragons. He even wanted to kidnap a group of them. A day quickly said. Chen Xiang arrived at the entrance of Long Peijin's stone room and saw the splash. Hi+ing sound of water coming from inside. He knew that Long Peijin was Hi+ing his body. He knew that Long Peijin was almost violated by Long Yingyi in the past, so he tactfully ran off. Long Peijin was extremely sensitive in this aspect. Chen Xiang was fiddling with the jars in the living room. There were some fruit wine inside, and he had made some to drink. Not long later, Long Peijin came out from the stone room. She had condensed her bones and was in a very good mood, so she looked much prettier. Even Long Peijin was addressed as the little flame girl. He knew that she had a very hot personality. Chen Xiang didn't feel anything from her, but seeing the gentle side of Long Peijin when he was carefully making the fruit wine, he felt that she was very pleasing to the eyes. How do you feel? Do you think that you've become more powerful? Chen Xiang laughed. The process of condensing bones is indeed very painful, but it's nothing to me. Long Peijin brought a jug of fruit wine over and poured Chen Xiang a full cup. Just as Chen Xiang wanted to shout, a dragon's roar resounded like thunder, shaking the entire cave. Long Peijin's face changed greatly. It's the evil spirit race's invasion. I'm going out to fight now, you stay here. Chen Xiang immediately felt that it was strange. Didn't the father and son pair, Long Yingyi and Long Jinrong, want to help the evil spirit race sneak into the Azure Dragon Tomb? C-2306. C-2306 Chen Xiang didn't want to stay here, so he said, I'll go with you, I also want to see evil spirit race. He found out from Wu Ji that the evil spirit race was a rather simple person, but he had never personally told him about it. The people he had seen before were only starry sky blood deviless that he had created. Long Peijin only felt that Chen Xiang was a guest and should not have gone out to fight and kill with her. However, since Chen Xiang had requested for it, she did not reject. Chen Xiang followed Long Peijin, holding the bottle of fruit wine in his hands. He drank from it as he walked. Grand Elder, what happened? Long Peijin met the great clan elder on the way, and this great clan elder actually ran towards them. Chen Xiang, don't go out. The evil spirit race came for you, and when they found out that a real human had come in, they came to capture you. The great elder said. With how well-informed the evil spirit race was, it must have been revealed by Long Yingyi and Long Jinrong. Both Long Peijin and Chen Xiang could immediately guess who had leaked the news. They did not expect that this pair of father and son had such close ties with the evil spirit race. When they came, they said they were here to capture me. For what reason? Chen Xiang asked. He felt that this matter was definitely not that simple. They said that when you arrived at this planet, you picked up their important treasures. As long as they saw you, they would demand you back. Thus, they wanted you to leave. The great elder replied, It doesn't matter if this matter is real or not. You must not go out to prevent them from plotting something. Chen Xiang nodded and said to Long Peijin, Peijin, be careful, I will return to your cave and wait for you. Don't worry about me. The great elder is here. Long Peijin said as he and the great clan elder ran towards the main door. When Chen Xiang was speaking just now, he purposely spoke very loudly just for the guy hiding at the side to overhear. When he returned to the cave, Chen Xiang felt that something was amiss. Who are you? Chen Xiang looked around and said indifferently. At this time, there was no one around. Long Peijin, great clan elder and all the experts ran out of the city. Chen Xiang knew immediately after thinking that it was Long Jinrong who had asked the evil spirit race to cooperate and then attacked him in the chaos. What he did not understand was why this father and son pair wanted to capture him. Shwa shwa shwa, a few black figures suddenly appeared. They were all people wearing black. It's not a dragon. Chen Xiang was extremely shocked. Unexpectedly, the dragon race had a evil spirit mixed in. Without a word, these black costume evil spirits charged towards Chen Xiang from 4 different directions. You want to deal with me with such little strength? Chen Xiang sneered in his heart. He teleported to the back of one of the black costume evil spirits and took out a chuang's Hi+G-O-D furnace. He quickly covered the and burned it into ashes. When the 3 black costume evil spirits saw it, they were secretly shocked. However, they did not think that Chen Xiang was strong. Their eyes were filled with greed as they stared at the chuang's Hi+G-O-D furnace in Chen Xiang's hands. Stop right there. Chen Xiang groaned, and suddenly a few water dragons appeared on the ground, trapping the 3 black costume evil spirits. Chen Xiang teleported over, and in the blink of an eye, he sent 2 of the black costume evil spirits back into the chuang's Hi+G-O-D furnace to train them to death. These guys are so weak. Chen Xiang looked around, but didn't leave any traces, and then entered the cave. Is it that father and son pair? Yue asked. Not bad, they indeed brought quite a few evil spirit races. I wonder where they got this treasure, which allowed the evil spirit race to stay inside without being discovered, like my dark jade ring. Chen Xiang said, The 4 guys just now came here because of their jobs. Why did they want you? Yue asked. Long Jinrong knows that I have bone-level Dan. Looks like their spies are everywhere here. I wonder how they found out. It is because Long Peijin and I have a very good relations. Hi+P that they knew that the bone-level Dan in my hands would never be given to them, and that's why they used this tactic. Chen Xiang said, This is what I gathered from the evil spirit's memories. Long Jinrong's position in the evil spirit race is very high, equivalent to the person in charge of the second power. He joined the evil spirit race very early on, and even learned the evil spirit race's method. If he had the chance to enter the Azure Dragon tomb, the consequences would be unimaginable. I really didn't expect this father and son pair to be so terrifying. They also have quite a good reputation here. Yue said. They actually want to play with me. This is good as well, I'll play with them. No one is afraid of me. Chen Xiang sneered. The evil spirit race S were easily discovered, and Long Jinrong had only released 4 of them to capture Chen Xiang. They had greatly underestimated Chen Xiang's strength, so when the 4 evil spirits tried to capture Chen Xiang, they were all killed by Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang waited in the cave for 4 hours, but Long Peijin also returned. She looked exhausted, but she looked very excited. He had often seen this kind of situation happen to Ling Yulan before. They're fighting. Chen Xiang laughed. They don't want to fight, but since they've all come to our door, we'll definitely beat them up. Long Peijin said, then took out the fruit wine and began to drink. Chen Xiang took out 4 red pearls and laughed. Peijin, do you know what this is? After Long Peijin saw it, he immediately swallowed the fruit wine in his mouth and said, Evil spirit blood bead, how did you get it? This is the equivalent of an evil spirit's bones. It's very precious, it's filled with pure energy. Oh? This is equivalent to a bones. Seems like the evil spirit with this kind of thing is pretty strong. Chen Xiang did not expect that, but those evil spirits were not strong enough, and died under his chuangs. Hi plus G Rho D furnace's protection. Of course, evil spirits are different from us. Evil spirits need to cultivate to the peak in order to condense this kind of blood bead, which is equivalent to us cultivating 100 GODS level S to cultivate bones, so they all possess the strength of 100 GODS level. Where exactly did you get this? Long Peijin asked. She had only seen these evil spirit blood beads a few times, although she had killed many evil spirits, but she had never encountered such blood beads. If she ever met one, she would most likely be killed too. On the way back, I was surrounded by 4 evil spirits. Chen Xiang told Long Peijin what happened, and then told him what he found in the evil spirit's memories that he told him as well. Chen Xiang, you are so powerful. I always thought humans were very weak. Long Peijin couldn't help but sigh with emotion. In her eyes, those 4 evil spirits were very strong, yet Chen Xiang had easily killed them. He even complained that the evil spirits were too weak. C-2307. C-2307 Chen Xiang played with the 4 blood beads of evil spirits in his hands. He thought that he could not use the dragon blood beads previously, but he did not expect that the dragon clan would place such high importance on this kind of blood bead. How do dragons usually use these blood beads of evil spirits? Chen Xiang asked. Although evil spirits are called evil spirits, their powers are extremely pure. For example, this kind of evil spirit blood bead will help us raise our divine deity cultivation greatly, because it contains pure blood energy. Long Peijin said. Do you want to try? Chen Xiang handed one over. There's no need. I've cultivated up to the 95 divine deity, and my physical body is already very strong. If I continue to eat, my requirements towards bone-level Dan will also be extremely high. Long Peijin said. After Chen Xiang ate 1 pellet, the evil spirit blood bead immediately melted into his body, and like a gust of cool wind, it flew all over his body, quickly fusing with his flesh and bones. What a mystical evil spirit blood bead! I even thought that I was going to refine it for a while. Chen Xiang exclaimed, and then ate the remaining 3 pellets. This is the equivalent of you fusing 4 bones. Long Peijin said, you did not sense any changes in your body. There is. I never thought that the speed of fusion would be so fast. If there was even a little more, it might have been able to help me condense the bones. Chen Xiang laughed. He was just casually saying that because he was going to condense the 9th bones, it would be the last, and very difficult. Long Peijin said, as long as we can destroy Long Jinrong and the others' plans this time, when Dragon Emperor comes out, I will tell him about this matter. As long as they could get it, they would be able to disrupt Long Jinrong and the others' plans. Even if Chen Xiang couldn't enter the Azure Dragon Tomb in the end, as long as they could get a placing, the Long Jinrong father and son's plans would still fail. Originally, Chen Xiang only hated this father and son duo, but before this, they actually sent an evil spirit to capture him. This made him have a murderous heart, because he hated people who treated him like this the most. Long Peijin did not know the exact details, but she knew that the qualification test was held outside of the Azure Dragon tomb. She still had the bone-level Dan that Chen Xiang had given her, and she hated Long Jinrong and his son to the extreme. Although the dragon race forbade killing each other, she did not care. As long as she had enough strength to kill Long Jinrong and his son, she would definitely make a move. Very quickly, 10 days or so had passed, and the great clan elder had also arrived at Long Peijin's cave. In these days, Long Peijin had cultivated another set of bones, and now that she possessed the second bones, she often went out to hunt special G.O.D. beasts. Grand Elder, you're really early. Chen Xiang laughed. Can you really make it so that I can successfully take the qualification examination? Don't worry, I'll take your type-in bone-level Dan. I promise to let you go smoothly. The great clan elder's serious face revealed a smile, as he could tell that the bone-level Dan had given him a lot of rewards. Chen Xiang thought that it was weird. The dragon cultivation bones was way too fast. In these 10 days, Long Peijin had been able to cultivate till 2. And this great clan elder in front of him seemed to have just trained up one. If not, he would not be smiling with a serious face. Long Peijin was the same as well. Although she did not laugh, one could see that she was in a very good mood. She accompanied Chen Xiang to the examination hall with the great clan elder. The direction he was heading in right now was in the middle of the city. Chen Xiang was already familiar with the environment inside, but he still did not know where the Azure Dragon's tomb was. In the middle was a relatively dilapidated house that Chen Xiang had previously used his divine soul to look at. He never expected that the Azure Dragon graveyard would actually be nearby. Long Peijin had said before, the examination location was outside the Azure Dragon tomb, and this dilapidated house was the examination location. This meant that the Azure Dragon tomb was nearby. The courtyard was rather large, and there was a small lake inside the courtyard as well. In the middle of the lake, there was a small stone house with a blue brick structure that looked very fine. Grand Elder, why did you bring them here? This is a qualification test. Women and outsiders are not allowed to partake. 1p8. The one who spoke was Long Yingyi, and his eyes were cold as he looked at Chen Xiang and Long Peijin. As an elder, Long Jinrong was also present. He said, Great Elder, if you ask them to come watch the show, I have no objections. If you allow them to partake. 1p8, I will oppose it. The great clan elder personally called Chen Xiang and Long Peijin over. With one glance, one could tell that this was not a simple invitation, and was most likely to let them partake. 1p8. The great clan elder said coldly, Our dragon clan does not have any rules saying that outsiders are not allowed to partake. 1p8. Peijin is just here to watch the show and the one partake. 1p8ing is this young brother. His arrival let us know what is happening outside, and he has the protection of the evil spirit race, weakening the evil spirit race's power. Chen Xiang had never obtained the protection of the evil spirit race, and that was only because Long Jinrong had purposely asked the evil spirit race to give him trouble. He did not expect that it would actually become the reason behind the great clan elder allowing Chen Xiang to partake. 1p8 in the qualification examination. Great Elder I will not allow him to attend. Long Jinrong felt that Chen Xiang was not simple, if not he would not have quietly died after sending out his 4 evil spirit experts. Long Jinrong, don't you think that's too kind? Within the Dragon Clan, I have never asked you about any of your responsibilities, but I am responsible for the assessment. If you want to change my decision, you can only kill me, or else, no matter what, I will let him partake. 1p8 today. The Great Elder's tone was firm and firm. His originally serious face now looked even more frightening. The Great Elder had quite a bit of prestige here. At this moment, several elders stood up for him. After all, his strength was there. No matter how unwilling Long Jinrong was at this moment, there was no other way. The only thing he could do was to allow Chen Xiang to partake. 1p8 in the qualification examination. Adding Chen Xiang, there were a total of 10 dragons and 1 human. Those 10 dragons were all holy sons, and their strengths were all strong. Long Peijin had told Chen Xiang in detail about their strengths before. Alright, the exam is about to begin. I'll explain the rules to you all first. When the time comes, you will need to jump into the Azure Dragon Lake. The Great Elder pointed at the lake in front of them. Don't just look at this is a small lake. After you guys jump in, you will enter a secret realm, which was established by the Azure Dragon. After 3 days, you will be automatically sent to the surface. And the test you guys will face to enter is to find the most dragon scale debris, which is a fragment refined by the Azure Dragon using its own dragon scales. 3 days later, whoever has more dragon scales will get first place. It sounded simple, but if they were to enter the secret realm together, there would definitely be a conflict. C-2308. C-2308 Chen Xiang looked at Long Yingyi and felt a thick killing intent from him when he made contact with his gaze. The Great Elder shouted again, also, you must not kill anyone inside. You can injure them. If you kill them all, not only will you be disqualified, you will also be executed by the clan rules. You must remember this. The Great Clan Elder looked at Chen Xiang and said solemnly, Chen Xiang, when the time comes, don't kill them, or else we will kill you too. Of course they can't kill you either. If they do, I will make them pay with their lives. Chen Xiang nodded. Great Elder, I will remember. Very well. However, if you enter, you will most likely not be able to find much dragon scales because you are not a dragon. Very well, but if you enter, you will likely not be able to find much dragon scales because you are not a dragon. The Great Elder said. After hearing what the Great Clan Elder said, Long Jinrong also secretly felt more at ease. He knew that the Great Clan Elder was right. If they were to search for dragon scales, their dragon race would definitely be faster than humans. Then start to enter the Azure Dragon secret realm right now. There are many trials waiting for you there. Dragon scales are not easy to obtain. Even if you can sense them, it would require many difficulties to obtain them. The Great Elder said. After that, Chen Xiang and the other 10 sacred sons all jumped into the Azure Dragon Lake one after another. Just as he touched the lake water, a white light shone out from Chen Xiang's eyes, and then, he discovered that he had fallen into a quagmire and was covered in dirt. Sense the dragon's scale. Seems like it's a little difficult to qualify. This kind of rule seems to require a bit of luck. Even if I'm not here, Long Yingyi might not get the only placing. Chen Xiang got up from the quagmire, released a water attribute divine power, and floated above his head. He washed the quagmire on his body quickly, and then released some hot air to dry his body. Are you able to sense the dragon scale? Else you'll be coming here for nothing. Yue replied, in short, I can't sense it. Chen Xiang took out the heavenly magic sword and said, I have come into contact with many of the Azure Dragon's descendants. Right now, I can only check to see if there's any reaction from the Azure Dragon part of the heavenly magic sword. The heavenly magic sword was also refined from the body of an Azure Dragon, but it was the descendant of an Azure Dragon, so its strength was not as strong as the Star Law Divine Realm. There's a reaction. Chen Xiang raised the heavenly magic sword and turned in a circle. When he turned in a direction, the heavenly magic sword suddenly trembled. Hee, as long as there is any reaction, I will have the chance. Chen Xiang kept his heavenly magic sword and instantly teleported in the direction of the sword finger. Inside the Azure Dragon's secret realm, the sky was a vast expanse of white. There was no sunlight and the temperature was very balanced. From time to time, there would be a breeze blowing. Chen Xiang thought that there was no night inside. The Green Dragon's secret area sure is huge. Chen Xiang teleported for a moment, and he could feel that if he was outside, he would have long since left the Dragon City. Chen Xiang arrived at a small mountain and saw a cave in the distance. He then took out the heavenly magic sword and discovered that it would only tremble when he pointed at the cave. Could it be inside? Chen Xiang was extremely cautious. He released a strand of divine soul and entered the cave to investigate, but the moment his divine soul touched the cave entrance, the restrictions immediately dissipated. There's a formation and a formation. When Chen Xiang arrived at the cave entrance, he used the Tao Heart Eye to look inside, but other than the multicolored light emitted by different types of spirit chi, there was nothing else. The heavenly magic sword would only tremble when they pointed at the cave, so they would only know if they entered the cave. Seems like I can only find out if I enter personally. Chen Xiang used teleportation and successfully said through the barrier around the cave entrance. After entering, he released another wisp of divine soul, allowing the divine soul to float to the end of the cave. Very quickly, he saw a table there. On it laid a fingernail-sized piece of cyan armor. Dragon scale debris. Chen Xiang said in surprise and then walked over. However, he did not expect that when he had just reached the table and grabbed the dragon scale debris, he heard a kacha sound, as if he had triggered some kind of mechanism. There's trouble. Chen Xiang frowned and immediately teleported out of the cave. When he ran out of the cave, Chen Xiang did not see the small mountain again, but what made his scalp go numb was that the small mountain had turned into a huge toad. I was in the innermost area just now. Chen Xiang thought, and his body could not help but tremble. This guy is coming over. Yu Er hurriedly shouted. Chen Xiang had also seen how the giant black-colored toad jumped over 3,000 meters with a single leap, directly jumping over. You're too ugly, I don't want to fight you. Chen Xiang took out his heavenly magic sword and the giant toad that was jumping over released a few waves of sword chi. Then, it concealed its presence and quickly teleported away. Who exactly placed these dragon scale debris? They are so deceitful, I have to be careful next time. Chen Xiang thought about how he had once entered the mouth of a disgusting giant toad, and his heart felt very uncomfortable. Not long after Chen Xiang entered, he received a piece of dragon scale debris, and while holding the heavenly magic sword, he spun in a circle, and when he felt the heavenly magic sword tremble, he immediately stopped and teleported in that direction. It's a forest. The trees are very dense, so there shouldn't be anything disgusting like before. Chen Xiang entered the forest and would occasionally take out the heavenly magic sword to confirm their discovery. Not long after, he arrived under a huge tree. This tree was 10 times bigger than the surrounding trees, and the heavenly magic sword was referring to this tree. Chen Xiang walked around the big tree once and didn't find anything abnormal. He used the Tao Heart Eye to look around, but he couldn't find anything. He also thought it was strange. Why couldn't he see the giant toad with the Tao Heart Eye just now? In order to ensure that he would not get into the monster's mouth, he stabbed the tree a few times with the heavenly magic sword but did not react. The tree sap that flowed out was filled with life force. Brother E, you said that one blood bead of the evil spirit could be exchanged for one of the dragon scale debris, right? I'll take you to the dragon scale debris I sense now. As long as I take it out, you will immediately give it to me. Suddenly, Chen Xiang heard a voice. He immediately went into hiding. And the other sacred son are here. Listening to what the sacred son said, they should be making a deal. The reason why Longingyi used the evil spirit blood bead to exchange for the dragon scale debris was to ensure that he could enter the Azure Dragon Tomb. As long as he could enter the Azure Dragon Tomb, their plan would succeed. That's right. Hurry up and take out the dragon scale debris you sensed. I'll give you the evil spirit blood bead. Longingyi said. Only if you are lucky enough to meet me will you be able to exchange for the evil spirit blood bead. You should know very well, with your strength, it is very difficult for you to obtain that position. Why not use the dragon scale debris S to exchange with me? C2309. C2309 Chen Xiang never thought that Long Yingyi would actually use such a method to obtain more dragon scales. That sacred sun flew above the tree, there was a tree hole on it. He very bravely ran inside. So it's inside the tree hole. Just as Chen Xiang wanted to go closer, he sensed an aura's fluctuation. He was greatly alarmed in his heart, because this was the same as the giant toad he encountered just now. He only saw that sacred sun suddenly ran out, and at the moment he ran out, this tree actually turned into a huge black python. It has changed. Chen Xiang exclaimed in his heart. He felt that it was extremely inconceivable. Just now, he had stabbed at this tree a few times, and he was very sure that it was a tree, but now it had turned into a gigantic black python in the blink of an eye. The black python swept its tail and broke all the trees around it. It even breathed out a black mist. One look was enough to tell that it was highly toxic. Brother E, save me! That sacred sun was swept up by the poisonous python's long apricot bush and held tightly together, and the brother E he spoke of had long since run away without knowing what was going on. When the big tree's chi suddenly changed, Long Yingyi ran away with his fastest speed, and with a single glance, could tell that he had made preparations. Chen Xiang immediately teleported over. Just as the black python was about to retract its tongue, Chen Xiang returned to the heavenly magic sword and cut off the snake apricot. Then, he grabbed the sacred sun and continuously teleported away. Right now, Chen Xiang's main goal was to find the dragon scale debris, so he was too lazy to bother with those huge beasts. He of course knew that Chen Xiang was the one who saved him. He looked around, and then saw that they were in a field. He heaved a sigh of relief and fell to the ground. Thank you, human. Although this sacred sun was already heavily poisoned, he didn't forget to be grateful to Chen Xiang. Eat it. Chen Xiang took out a poison cleansing God pill. Although the black python's poison was highly toxic, it wasn't as terrifying as the black dragon flower poisons. Plus this sacred sun was a dragon. With the help of the detoxification pill and his own power, he could force the poison out of his body. He didn't need the 3 lotus stands' help to cure it. Very quickly, this sacred sun's face turned red. I am truly grateful that Long Yingyi is too despicable. He truly misjudged him. The reason this sacred sun agreed to exchange dragon scale debris S with Long Yingyi was also because Long Yingyi had a good reputation back then, but now, his image of Long Yingyi had crumbled in his heart. It's nothing. Although I, Chen Xiang, am a human, I have many beast-like friends, and I know a few dragons. In the outer sect world, I only have one dragon as my wife. Chen Xiang laughed. I am Long Lin. If Brother Shen does not mind, I also want to be your friend. Long Lin said with a grin. He looked like a simple and honest young lad. Of course not. Chen Xiang laughed. From now on we are friends. Long Lin had already determined that Chen Xiang was his savior. Although they were human, they were so friendly, he had not expected them to be so. He was secretly grateful to the great clan elder in his heart. If not for the great clan elder allowing Chen Xiang to enter, he might have been eaten by the snake long ago. Long Yingyi really isn't anything special. He usually acts so well, but in times of crisis, he actually has such a moral character. It seems like we were deceived by him. Long Lin said angrily. I'll definitely tell the other dragons when we get out. Long Lin, you should know about the matter with Pei Jin. She said that her mother was forced to death by Long Yingyi and her son, and that Long Yingyi had almost violated her. Chen Xiang said. If you had told me about it in the past, I definitely wouldn't have believed you and would even have fought against you. But now, I believe you, no wonder Long Peijin hated this pair of father and son so much. It was also because this father and son pair had always been righteous and guiding us to distance ourselves from Long Peijin. Long Lin said, I have to apologize to her when we leave. Chen Xiang also did not expect that Long Peijin being rejected by the other dragons was actually related to Long Yingyi and the others. Long Lin, did you get the dragon scale debris? Chen Xiang asked. Got it. The moment I picked it up, I could feel a very strong beast's killing intent. Then, the tree turned into a giant python. When Long Lin thought back to it, he felt a lingering fear. I was already by that tree. I even stabbed a few times at that tree, but there was no reaction. Chen Xiang frowned. I had entered a small mountain before. I had gotten the dragon scale debris from inside, and that small mountain had turned into a very big toad. This could be a teleportation formation. Move that beast over here. That giant python is not made from a tree, nor is the toad made from a mountain. Long Lin was also slightly surprised. Brother Shun, I never thought that you would actually be able to sense dragon scale debris, and it's even faster than me. If you acted a little faster, maybe you would have already gotten 2 pieces. Long Lin, I hid myself when I heard your voice. I know you wanted to use the dragon scale debris and Long Yingyi to exchange for the evil spirit blood bead. Chen Xiang said. Brother Shin, do you really need dragon scale debris? I'll send you off. Long Lin immediately took out the cyan dragon scale debris and said it to Chen Xiang. Aren't you worried that I, a human, would enter the chaos in the Azure Dragon Tomb? Chen Xiang laughed and did not accept it. What's there to worry about? Didn't the Grand Elder say it already? If you really can enter the Azure Dragon Tomb, it will also be because of the Azure Dragon ancestor. Our dragon clan has quite a few outstanding dragons that have obtained the qualifications, but in the end, didn't we all not manage to enter? Long Lin laughed. Chen Xiang took the dragon scale debris. He really wanted to enter the Azure Dragon's tomb to see if there was anything he could find. I won't take you for free. I'll give you this in exchange. Chen Xiang said over a Shangpin bone level dan. He had refined many of these things, and was not lacking at all, but they were extremely precious to Long Lin. This is... The bone level dan seems like it's still high grade. Long Lin shouted in shock. Brother Shun, this is too precious, I don't want it, my life was saved by you, giving you the dragon scale debris should be done as well. Chen Xiang immediately stuffed it inside his clothes and laughed. This isn't really too precious to me, I'll just treat it as a small gift for you. Don't forget that I'm a human from the outside, I have some with me. Thank you, Elder Brother Shun. Long Lin said with a grin, then carefully put away the high-grade bone level dan. Big brother, there are a few brothers among the Sacred Sun that are better off with me. I'll see if I can contact them, I'll get them to give the dragon scale debris to you. Long Lin said. Better hurry, maybe Long Yingyi already found them. Chen Xiang said, it was not bad for him to be able to obtain the dragon scale debris. He just needed to use the Shangpin bone level dan to exchange for it. 2 dragon horns suddenly appeared on Long Lin's head. His dragon horns shook, and after a while, he said, Fortunately, they were not found by Long Yingyi. I have already told them about Long Yingyi's lack of help. They will be back soon. C-2310. C-2310. Not long after, Chen Xiang could feel a few auras approaching. Long Lin's face was filled with joy as he said, Big brother, my brothers are here. Chen Xiang never thought that this simple and honest Long Lin would have such good connections. His brothers immediately came when they heard him, and they also seemed to believe his words. Not long after, a few tall figures suddenly appeared. They were 3 tall and dy men, taller than Chen Xiang by a head. Just their outer appearance alone was extremely terrifying. Brother Lin, the message you sent over was real. Long Yingyi did not care about your life and death. He just directly ran away. A large man came over and asked with a boorish voice like thunder. It was obvious that he was extremely angry. If not for this elder brother Shern who saved me in time, I would have been eaten by the strange beasts long ago. Long Ingi is truly A-B-A-S-T-A-R-D. He can totally save me just with his own strength alone, but he's worried that if he was targeted by the strange beasts, he would have ran away. Long Lin said angrily. And what this guy did to Long Pei-jin. Long Lin then told the brothers that Long Ingi wanted to violate Long Pei-jin. Thank you, elder brother Shen, for saving my brother. Long Lin's brothers thanked Chen Xiang one after another. They were all like different animals, but with Long Lin's personality, he also had such a brother and friend. Long Lin asked, "Did you all get the dragon scale debris? Did you all encounter danger like me?" The three big men shook their heads and then recounted their experiences. Some of them had encountered arrays, and after breaking them, they had obtained dragon scale debris S, and some of them had even killed Special G.O.D. Beast S. They were not ambushed by Special G.O.D. Beast like what Chen Xiang and Long Lin had encountered. Looks like we're unlucky. Chen Xiang laughed bitterly. Oh right, Long Ingi had contacted us before. He said that he was willing to use the evil spirit blood bead to exchange for the dragon scale debris. We wanted to promise him, but after hearing about your situation, we rejected. A large man said. Good. Even if a person like him wins this exam, he won't get the approval of the Azure Dragon. At the end, he will not be able to enter the Azure Dragon tomb. Long Lin said. I have already given my dragon scale debris to elder brother Shin, and he can also give yours too. He is my savior. Chen Xiang was startled. Long Lin was too direct with his words, and what made him surprised was that his three brothers all listened to him, and actually took out their dragon scale debris S. Maybe this was a trust and love between them, and Long Lin's life was taken back by Chen Xiang. If not for Chen Xiang, they might not be able to see Long Lin again. After Chen Xiang received the dragon scale debris, he took out 3 high-grade bone-level Dan and gave it to him, while smiling. I do not want your dragon scale debris for nothing. This is a little gift from me. You guys should accept it as well. Take it. Long Lin's generosity also surprised him. At this moment, he understood that Chen Xiang did not lack these bone-level Dan. The bone-level Dan was much more precious than the evil spirit blood bead in Long Lin and the others' hearts, and it was a very good quality Shangpin bone-level Dan at that. Elder brother Shern, how about this? We will split up now. We will go look for more dragon scale debris, and meet up at a rendezvous after that. At that time, we will give you the dragon scale debris, and then you can bind it with blood, and that will be yours. Only then will you be able to win against Long Ingi. Long Lin said, and his 3 brothers did not have a single one. All right. Chen Xiang said. Based on our calculations, we will meet here for the next 2 hours before the AAS assessment ends. No problem. Long Lin and the others nodded. Long Lin and the others rushed in 4 directions, while Chen Xiang also teleported in 1 direction. This green dragon's secret realm was still very big. As long as they ran a little further, they would not meet each other. At that time, Chen Xiang would not want their dragon scale debris for nothing. He would exchange with the Shangpin bone-level Dan, and he was not lacking in Shangpin bone-level Dan. After teleporting for less than an hour, Chen Xiang took out the heavenly magic sword, and once again looked in the direction of the dragon scale debris. I think that the giant toad and black python appeared because of you. You arrived at the tree before Long Lin, so the formation inside the tree had already sensed you, which resulted in the test of your strength. Yue replied, because when you entered, the great elder didn't say that there was such a dangerous situation. Chen Xiang frowned. Could it be that the giant toad and the big black python appeared for my sake? That's reasonable. Then we can deal with the big black python by ourselves, but it will be troublesome. If it is Long Lin, I'm afraid it will be difficult to deal with. I wonder how many dragon scale debris in there. There should be quite a few. Who placed them here? Could it be that Azure Dragon isn't dead yet? Chen Xiang was very suspicious. The various examinations in the Azure Dragon's secret realm required a very large consumption of energy to maintain them. He did not think that the dragon race could complete them. I don't know. In short, this kind of heavenly beast's power is very scary. Even though they have been dead for a long time, their power has still been preserved for a very long time. Yue replied, "You'll know once you enter the Azure Dragon tomb." Chen Xiang's heavenly magic sword had already found the direction, so he immediately teleported. Not long after, he arrived in a desert and teleported a few more times. Let me guess what kind of beast this boulder can turn into. Chen Xiang circled around the huge boulder, holding the heavenly magic sword. He was sure that there was a dragon-scale debris inside. What kind of special G.O.D. beast do you think he is? Chen Xiang asked. I can't guess. If you want to obtain the dragon-scale debris, then you must first destroy this huge boulder. If this huge boulder is shattered, the special G.O.D. beast should not appear anymore, right? Yue replied, maybe you won't meet those special G.O.D. beast again this time. It's hard to say. Based on the situation from the previous 2 times, I'm sure I would have encountered it. Even that big tree was stabbed by me a few times, but in the end, wasn't there still a big snake popping out? Chen Xiang waved his heavenly magic sword, chopping the giant boulder into many fist-sized pieces. The moment the huge rock was smashed into pieces, Chen Xiang immediately locked onto the dragon-scale debris inside, and then used his spatial technique to retrieve it. Seems like I'm lucky this time. Chen Xiang laughed lightly, but he could not laugh immediately. The gigantic boulder suddenly flashed and turned into a gigantic blood-colored wasp. What the hell? Chen Xiang immediately teleported away from the giant bees. Just when he thought he could get away from the giant bees, he saw that the giant bee was right beside him. What's going on? Chen Xiang immediately teleported again, but when he teleported, he suddenly felt pain in his arm, making his heart ache. His body was very strong, and he also trained in heavenly spirit kung fu, so as long as his body could feel any threat, he would defend himself. But now, he could clearly feel something piercing through his left arm. C-2311. C-2311 Chen Xiang was not only shocked by this, but also by the fact that the giant BLOODY bees were unable to get rid of him. He himself had teleported a few times, but the fact that the giant bees could still follow him meant that the giant bees had the ability to teleport as well. I remember now, this is the SPAC ghost bee. It's extremely poisonous, are you okay? Yue exclaimed, hurry up and kill them all. These fellows are reproducing very quickly. Yue had just finished speaking when Chen Xiang saw the SPAC ghost bee, which had died because of stabbing him with a needle, suddenly explode. When it exploded, saw more than 10 blood-colored beads instantly, and after the beads shattered, more than 10 blood-colored bees came out. Damn it. Seeing this scene, Chen Xiang was surprised at the reproducing ability of the SPAC ghost bee. At the same time, he was using the heavenly transformation skill, Scorching Sun Heavenly Elephant, to turn his body into a blazing fire. Little thing, don't even think about growing up. Chen Xiang took out the chuangs. HI plus G-RO-D furnace and allowed the chuangs. HI plus G-O-D furnace to grow bigger. He faced the dozens of SPAC ghost bees that were just born and smashed the bottom of the divine furnace with his palm, causing the chuangs. HI plus GOD furnace to spew out a terrifying, spring-like flame that enveloped the group of SPAC ghost bees that were about to attack him. What he did not expect was that the SPAC ghost bees would have the ability to manipulate SPAC as soon as they were born. They would teleport behind him and use their poisonous stinger to pierce him at an extremely fast speed. Chen Xiang turned his body and slashed with his sword. The heavenly magic sword turned into several, the sword images blotting out the sky and covering the group of flying ghost bees, slicing them into many blood-colored pieces. You still want to reproduce? Chen Xiang controlled the chuangs. Hi+God furnace to spew out flames, submerging the group of SPAC ghost bee pieces and turning them into ashes. More than 100 dead at once. There are thousands of them here. Yue said, quickly use your SPAC domain. As long as your SPAC domain is strong enough, they won't be able to use spatial force to avoid you. Chen Xiang immediately released his SPAC domain, enveloping all of the spatial ghost bees within himself. Then, he absorbed the chuangs. Hi+God furnace's flames into his body, jumped into the air, and struck a fire cloud palm onto the ground. When Chen Xiang fused with the chuangs, Hi+God furnace, the strong flames released by the chuangs. Hi+God furnace could not harm him at all. When they entered his body, it was like his blood. The fire cloud palm transformed from chuangs. Hi+God furnace flames shot down, emitting a light that was even more intense than the scorching sun, as though even SPAC itself had collapsed from the heat. The fire cloud palm pressed down and the SPAC ghost bees flew everywhere. The moment they touched the fire cloud palm, they instantly turned into smoke. When the huge fire palm touched the ground, all the ghost bees were killed, while the fire cloud palm burned the ground, leaving a bottomless gigantic palm print. Are there many of these people in the outer sect? If you do not have any tricks up your sleeve, you will only die when you encounter such a group of people. Chen Xiang heaved a sigh of relief. He looked at the black bloodied hole on his arm, then released a ball of flame from the chuangs. Hi+God furnace and poured it in, burning and refining all the poison in the wound. It's just a small wound. Chen Xiang shook his arm. He only felt a bit of pain now and nothing serious had happened. Only you can deal with it easily. If it was the outer sect, Peak Divine Lord would be troubled even if they met with such a large group. This spatial wasp is ranked at the top of the Star Law Divine Realm's beast ranking. It seems to be ranked 3rd. Yue said, but then, for some reason, it suddenly disappeared. It seems that all of it was taken by the Azure Dragon. The Green Dragon is also one of the guardian beasts of the Star Law Divine Realm, so it is not strange that he would do such a thing. Chen Xiang laughed bitterly. Looks like it's aimed at me. In order to test me, you actually took out such a terrifying thing. I feel that there must be a very powerful fellow hiding somewhere to watch this assessment, and he even made some changes at the last minute. Chen Xiang's suspicions were not without reason. It looked like someone was manipulating it. Do we continue? Yue asked. What we encounter next should be more and more powerful. Of course we have to continue. I want to see what kind of powerful things there are. If you have the guts, release them all. I'll exterminate him in one breath. Chen Xiang was not afraid. At this time, he had 6 dragon-scale debris in total, which was more than the amount he had now. But there was still quite a bit of time before the end of the examination, so in order to ensure that there were no mistakes, the more the better. He used the heavenly magic sword to find a direction and immediately teleported. Inside the Azure Dragon's secret realm, he used spatial energy to teleport without any resistance, so his movement speed was very fast. Not long after, he got close to the dragon-scale debris. It's Long Lin's brother. I think his name is Long Qing. Chen Xiang immediately recognized Long Lin's brother. That tall and stu. dy figure, coupled with the beard on his face, was extremely recognizable. And Long Yingyi, what are they doing? Yue asked. He's fighting for the dragon-scale debris, and the dragon-scale debris is currently in Long Qing's hands. Chen Xiang lied in the GRASS and watched quietly. Long Qing held onto the dragon scale debris tightly, held onto his gigantic blade and said angrily, "Long Yingyi, you really are what Brother Lin said, truly a despicable and shameless person. After being tricked by you for so many years, if you have the guts, then kill me, otherwise if I am to leave here alive, don't even think that you can live a good life." The arm that Long Qing used to lift the blade had been left with dazzling golden blood, which was the more powerful dragon blood. "You don't need to worry about me. If I can enter the Azure Dragon Tomb, the things you said would be nothing to me." Long Yingyi laughed sinisterly. The great clan elder only said that killing is not allowed, but he never said that serious injuries are not allowed. "The dragon scale debris in your hand is mine now." Long Yingyi turned into a black shadow and flashed past. Chen Xiang also saw his movements clearly. Chen Xiang immediately used spatial teleportation and pulled Long Qing over to his side. "Brother Long Qing, are your injuries serious?" Chen Xiang looked at his huge arm. The top of his arm was already cracked, and there was even a piece of black and purple color. "There's poison on that bastard sword," Long Qing said angrily. He actually used such a sneaky move. Chen Xiang took out the detoxification divine pellet, turned it into powder, and sprinkled it onto Long Qing's arm. After that, he took out 2 detoxification divine pellets and gave it to Long Qing. "It's you, human. Long Lin didn't die because he saved you, right? You really do have some strength. It seems like that day." Long Yingyi realized that he blurted out something, and quickly shut his mouth. Long Qing was not an idiot either. From Long Yingyi's words, he could already tell that Long Yingyi had actually secretly attacked Chen Xiang before. Seeing that Long Qing's condition had stabilized, Chen Xiang walked towards Long Yingyi and laughed. "Those 4 little trash were sent by you, right? You guys are underestimating me too much. I have to say, the 4 evil spirit blood beads that you sent to me are quite good. How should I thank you?" The 4 evil spirits that they had sent out were all good fighters, but they were actually treated as trash by Chen Xiang. What made him angry was that they actually gave Chen Xiang 4 drops of evil spirit blood bead. C-2312. C-2312 Long Yingyi shouted angrily. "Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you can't be killed here. Don't forget that you can still fight." Long Yingyi really wanted to kill Chen Xiang right now, but he knew that he must not do so. He believed that as long as he could enter the Azure Dragon Tomb and carry out their plans, they would ultimately obtain a strong power and control the dragon race and evil spirit race. "Elder Brother Shen, leave quickly. Long Yingyi definitely has a lot of evil tricks up his sleeve." He had experienced it just now, that in order to obtain the dragon scale debris, Long Yingyi was willing to use any means possible. "It's fine. I just don't feel good about not being able to kill this bug right now. He really is no different from a bug in my eyes. I can crush him to death with ease." Chen Xiang took out his heavenly magic sword. As long as he controlled himself and did not kill the other party, he would be able to make his move appropriately. As long as he could cripple Long Yingyi and make it impossible for Long Yingyi to continue searching for the dragon scale debris, then the only place would be his. Isn't it too arrogant to just use a broken sword? A small human, with flesh like mud, dares to clamor in front of a thunder dragon like me. Although you can kill those 4 people, they did it for the sake of capturing you. We also gave an order that we could not let them kill you, so if they did not use their full strength, you would have succeeded." Long Yingyi swapped for a dark purple long sword. The dragon patterns engraved on it flickered with purple lightning. "Elder Brother Shen, this is the Azure Dragon Ancestor's purple dragon lightning sword. To be able to turn the sword chi into the extremely terrifying purple dragon divine thunder, you have to be extra careful." Long Qing reminded him seriously. Chen Xiang nodded his head, then walked towards Long Yingyi step by step. Long Yingyi secretly held onto the purple thunder lightning sword. He never thought that Chen Xiang would actually walk over like this. He thought that Chun Xiang would suddenly attack him from afar, or perhaps attack him from afar. I told you to be arrogant. Long Yingyi aimed at Chun Xiang's shoulder and swung his sword. A furious dragon's roar followed by thunder could be heard. The divine sword in Long Yingyi's hand released a burst of purple light. The terrifying lightning attribute divine dragon energy struck towards Chun Xiang's shoulder. In that instant, one could clearly see that it was an angry purple dragon formed from lightning. It opened its huge mouth, as if it was going to bite Chun Xiang's shoulder to pieces. Oh! Chun Xiang's shoulder was struck by the sword chi, causing an ear-splitting dragon's roar to echo in the sky. Ha ha! You reckless fool! Long Yingyi laughed out loud, and when the purple light started to dissipate, his laughter suddenly stopped. His expression was filled with shock. Chun Xiang's shoulder had indeed been struck, and there was a charred black hole that was still smoking at the place where Chun Xiang's shoulder had landed. The clothes on his shoulders and arms had already been burnt to ashes, so it was possible to see that the charred black spot on Chun Xiang's shoulder was only the surface of his skin. Long Yingyi's attacks were very accurate. If he hit his shoulder, it would break his entire arm. However, Chun Xiang's arm was still there, and that strike just now had not caused much damage to Chun Xiang. Just as Long Yingyi was startled, Chun Xiang had already rushed in front of him with a stride. His sword slashed towards his shoulder, chopping off one of his arms. You coward, if you want to break someone's arm, you have to do this, not hide at a distance. Chun Xiang laughed coldly. The arm that fell to the ground turned into a huge dragon claw, with a gold armor on it. This Long Yingyi was wearing an extremely stu-dy set of divine armor. Long Yingyi's face turned green. He was furious and frightened. Just as he was about to run, Chun Xiang swung his sword towards his other shoulder, and cut off his arm. You just wanted to cripple all of my limbs and then smash my body into mud, right? Chun Xiang saw Long Yingyi's expression full of fear and despair. He swept his sword across Long Yingyi's legs and cut them in half. My father will kill you. Long Yingyi's anger reached its peak, and he could only say that out loud. Is that so? Your plan has failed. How can your father kill me? Chun Xiang chuckled, then heavily stomped his foot on Long Yingyi's chest, breaking his breastbone. Even though it was a dragon's body, in front of Chun Xiang, who possessed 16 bones, a weak Long Yingyi was no different from tofu. Long Yingyi, who was about to speak, spat out blood when he heard Chun Xiang's words. Long Qing, who was watching from the side, was completely stunned. He was the same as Long Peijin. He had never thought that the legendary weak and small human beings would actually have such terrifying strength. I think your dad won't be able to sit still after leaving this time. He's going to activate his evil spirit army and start a war. Chun Xiang fiercely kicked Long Yingyi's body, sending him flying far away. Long Yingyi was speechless. He knew very well how terrifying Chun Xiang's strength was. If it were not for the fact that they could not kill him here, he would have been killed by Chun Xiang a long time ago. Brother Long Qing, are you feeling better? Chun Xiang walked over and helped Long Qing up. It's much better. Elder brother Shun is really powerful. Long Qing exclaimed. Even his father is not your match. Here, this dragon scale debris hasn't even taken up my blood. It can still be used. Chun Xiang received it, and then, he took out a Shangpin bone level Dan. However, Long Qing refused to give it to him no matter what, and in the end, Chun Xiang forced it to him. After Chun Xiang crippled Long Yingyi, he and Long Qing headed towards the plain, waiting for Long Lin and the other 2 dragons. 3 days of time was more or less up to the point of Pas Sing. After Long Lin and the others returned, they were able to find one, and gave it all to Chun Xiang while also understanding that it was Long Qing who said it, so Long Lin and the others naturally believed it. What exactly did Long Yingyi and his son send to deal with you? Long Qing asked. This was what Long Yingyi had said himself. It was definitely true. Evil spirit, and there's even the evil spirit blood bead. That day, when you all ran out of the city, The Great Elder told me to stay in the cave of Peijin. On my way back, I met an ambush. Chen Xiang said, Long Yingyi and his son are connected to the evil spirit race. However, it would be best if both of you leave alone, and inform the great clan elder in secret. In order to avoid being silenced by them. They actually colluded with the evil spirit race. He still could not believe it, but when he thought back, this was something that Long Yingyi himself had admitted to. Chen Xiang said, This is not strange. Furthermore, Long Jinrong has a very high position in the evil spirit race. If Long Jinrong can take down the Dragon Clan and destroy the elders who are in the way of Dragon Emperor, he would be the most powerful on this planet. See 2313. See 2313. When the time came, Chen Xiang, Long Lin and the others immediately felt a strong suction force. Their vision swayed, and then, they felt a chill as they floated on the surface of the water. They left the Azure Dragon secret realm, and arrived at the Azure Dragon Lake above. Long Yingyi was also floating on top of the Azure Dragon Lake. When Long Jinrong saw him, he was extremely angry and immediately flew over and fished Long Yingyi out. Even though Long Yingyi had chopped off 4 of his limbs, Long Yingyi was still very clear-headed. When he saw his own father, he immediately roared in hatred and told him about Chen Xiang SLA's HI+ing 4 of his limbs. There were quite a few Dragon Clan elders and young outstanding dragons surrounding the Green Dragon Lake. After hearing about this, they all looked at Chen Xiang furiously. Long Yingyi had only told him part of the truth, but he did not mention anything about how he treated Long Lin and Long Qing. Everyone, don't listen to this bastard. He could have saved me when I was in danger, but he was worried that I would be implicated and he ran away on his own. It was elder brother Shern who saved me. Long Lin said angrily. Long Yingyi, when you fought with Long Qing you used poison, why didn't you say so? Long Qing hurriedly walked out and rolled up his sleeves. Although his poison had already been cleansed, the wound was still black. With a glance, it was obvious that there was a trace of poison involved. Chen Xiang didn't even need to speak. As Long Lin and the others shouted, they revealed all of Long Yingyi's ugly deeds, including the fact that he almost violated Long Peijin. The Dragon Clan members were stunned. They couldn't believe that this father and son duo, who had a very positive image over the years, was so hypocritical. You're talking nonsense. This foreign human has a lot of divine pills in his hand. You must have taken his divine pills to slander us. Long Jinrong said angrily, refusing to admit it even at death. He knew that if he was determined to collude with the evil spirit race, then it would be very troublesome for him and his father. Great Elder, this test does not count. It's all because of this alien human breaking the rules, and this was originally a matter of our dragon race. Long Jinrong shouted, looking unconvinced. The examination is over, take out your dragon scale debris. The great clan elder ignored him. He heard that Long Peijin was almost violated by Long Yingyi, and this made him extremely angry. As for the relations, HI+P between Long Jinrong and the others with the evil spirit race, because there was no evidence, he could not believe it either. He could only wait until the Dragon Emperor came out of closed-door cultivation before discussing about it. Chen Xiang took out 10 pieces of dragon scale debris. Long Yingyi also had 3, but he did not have the others. It seemed like Long Yingyi had also exchanged the dragon scale debris from the other dragons. The person who said the examination was a human. Those old dragons understood why Chen Xiang had so many. It had to be from Long Lin and Long Qing. And Long Qing had said just now that Chen Xiang had saved them, and these brothers of theirs were all very loyal. It was not strange that they would give it to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang has said the examination. He can enter the Azure Dragon Tomb now. The Great Elder pointed to the small green brick house on the small island in the Green Dragon Lake. That was actually the entrance to the Azure Dragon Tomb. Open the door. If you can enter successfully, you will receive the approval of the Azure Dragon. The great elder said, "You can go now." The other elders did not say anything either. Whether Chen Xiang could enter or not, all of this had nothing to do with them. On the other hand, Long Jinrong was very angry, because he felt that his son should have entered. Wait! Long Jinrong saw that Chen Xiang wanted to go over, and immediately shouted, "Great clan elder, my son also obtained 3 dragon scale debris. He is considered the largest among the dragon clan. He should be qualified to enter." Long Jinrong's palm was on Long Yingyi's chest. No one knew what technique he used, but Long Yingyi's broken 4 limbs suddenly grew out. Long Yingyi looked much more energetic now. "Great elder, I remember that the rule to enter the Azure Dragon Tomb is to only allow 1 dragon to enter, but I have never said that humans and dragons are not allowed. So I think that dragons and humans can enter at the same time." Long Jinrong said, "This did not break the clan rules." The great clan elder frowned and nodded. "That's right, we have indeed not broken the clan rules. We can try. Whether you can enter or not will depend on your own good fortune. As long as he doesn't break the clan's rules, he will agree to it." Long Jinrong heaved a sigh of relief, patted Long Yingyi's shoulders and said, "You can go in first. Since you are of the dragon race, you definitely have to give priority to the human race. Go in." Just now, Chen Xiang had noticed what Long Jinrong had given to Long Yingyi earlier. That thing must have contained evil spirit race. He wanted Long Yingyi to bring him into the Azure Dragon Tomb. As long as Long Yingyi could enter, they could still carry out their plan. At that time, he would be able to call the wind and summon the rain in this heavenly planet. He was secretly excited in his heart. As long as he entered the Azure Dragon Tomb, he and his father would quickly obtain great power, and thinking about this, he wanted to laugh out loud. At that time, he would be able to torture Chen Xiang, Long Lin, and the others to death. Long Lin and Long Qing both clearly understood Long Yingyi's character, and also knew of the consequences of his entering the Azure Dragon Tomb. They were currently very angry, but Chen Xiang had actually sent a sound transmission to them, telling them to calm down. At this time, everyone was looking at Long Yingyi on the small island. Long Yingyi walked towards the green brick hut and opened the wooden door. "As long as you pass through the azure light, you will be able to enter the Azure Dragon Tomb," the great elder shouted. Long Yingyi was now more excited. He took a deep breath and stepped into the door, but who would have thought that the moment he touched the green light, he would be flung away by a very powerful force. "Ah!" Long Yingyi screamed in pain, blood spurting out from his mouth as he flew straight back to the SHORE. How is that possible? My son is the strongest saint's son, why can't he get the recognition of the Azure Dragon? Long Jinrong anxiously walked over and hugged Long Yingyi and shouted. "Those who were sent flying all those years ago all thought so." An elder sighed. "Back then, I was also sent flying out. As for why, I also want to know." Long Lin and the others immediately laughed out loud. This Long Yingyi was actually unable to enter the Azure Dragon Tomb, and had even displayed such confidence before. "Chen Xiang, it's your turn," the great elder said. "You have to be careful in a bit. If you don't obtain the Green Dragon's acknowledgement, you'll be sent flying and will suffer heavy injuries." Chen Xiang nodded his head, then flew to the front of the small green brick house at the center of the lake. Everyone's eyes were focused on him. He was the first human to enter the Azure Dragon Tomb in many years. Many dragons thought that it was impossible for him to enter. Even an outstanding young dragon like Long Yingyi was unable to enter, much less a human. Chen Xiang was also very nervous. If he was unable to enter, then he would have to think of another way to enter the Azure Dragon Tomb. Long Peijin was extremely nervous at the moment. She hoped that Chen Xiang could enter the Azure Dragon Tomb. As long as he could, she would receive many benefits. She had already treated Chen Xiang as her only friend. Chen Xiang's foot had already stepped into the green light, and the green light that he had touched earlier wasn't bounced back like Longingyi was previously. C-2314. C-2314. Seeing that Chen Xiang could go in, Longingyi, who was heavily injured in Long Jinrong's arms, spat out a mouthful of blood. The hatred in his heart was so strong that it caused blood to spurt out. He wasn't the only one who couldn't understand. The elders present couldn't understand why a human could obtain the recognition of the Azure Dragon. Chen Xiang had already entered the Azure Dragon tomb. Upon seeing that his plan had failed, he immediately carried Longingyi and left, planning out another plan. He was not willing to give up. After Chen Xiang entered through the door, he saw a very S.P. A-size hall, with a green stone coffin in the middle. On it were many lifelike dragons. All of them had different postures and expressions. Is this the Azure Dragon's sarcophagus? Was buried in human form? Chen Xiang walked over and touched the green sarcophagus, suddenly feeling that it was trembling. He immediately pulled his hand back in shock. The sarcophagus shook and the lid moved away on its own. After opening the coffin, Chen Xiang immediately looked towards the direction of the coffin, only to see that it was filled with cyan mist, which was currently Hi plus ing and emitting multicolored light. This is the Azure Dragon tomb? Chen Xiang looked around. He did not know what was the point of entering the Azure Dragon tomb through the A.S. assessment. That's right, this is my tomb. Chen Xiang suddenly heard the voice and was shocked. Pride of the World, Alchemy G. O. D23 TL. The green mist inside the sarcophagus suddenly surged, forming a mist-like green dragon that was looking at Chen Xiang with its red eyes. 5. Senior. Aren't you dead? Chen Xiang said in surprise. He never thought that he would actually be able to see the Star Law Divine Realm's Azure Dragon. My body has already died, and my divine soul is about to disappear. Although I am a heavenly beast, I cannot live forever. My mission in Star Law Divine Realm has been completed, and the heavenly energy is gradually dissipating. The Azure Dragon's voice was filled with sadness. I know your purpose for coming here. I have also tested you. The corner of Chen Xiang's eyes twitched. When he was in the Azure Dragon's secret realm, it was actually this Azure Dragon that was controlling the various tests. Senior, your test is truly deadly. Even the S.P.A.C. ghost bees have appeared. Chen Xiang curled his lips. How did you do that? So quickly, you brought out those huge beasts and spatial ghost bees to deal with me. The so-called Azure Dragon's secret realm is my divine sense C. The Azure Dragon said, the reason why you are looking for me is because you want to devour my divine soul. Right. This. I only wanted to devour your unconscious divine soul. You still have consciousness right now, so I don't plan on doing that anymore. Chen Xiang said. He thought that the Azure Dragon had died, and after its flesh had died, its consciousness would disappear along with it. Don't worry, swallow me. I have no objections. I am quite satisfied with having such a home to return to. The Green Dragon said. Chen Xiang was surprised again and asked doubtfully, You know my goal? Why are you willing to be devoured by me? Although you only have this divine soul left, I can still sense your powerful strength. It's your second divine sense sees Azure Dragon that's summoning me. You might not even know it yourself, but you've created your own Azure Dragon. Besides that, your divine sense C has 3 other beasts, right? The Green Dragon said. Chen Xiang indeed didn't know. He only knew that his second divine sense C had concealed himself for a long time and had always been following him. He even more never thought that his second divine sense C would be so powerful to be able to make the Azure Dragon's divine soul submit to him. Senior, looks like you understand the second divine sense C very well? Haven't you cultivated it? Chen Xiang asked. If I could cultivate it out, I wouldn't have died. Being able to cultivate to become the second divine sense C is an extremely difficult thing to do, but you seem to have done it long ago. The Green Dragon replied, If I parasitize in your second divine sense C, my consciousness will not disappear. I don't know anything about my second divine sense C. I remember before, the divine elephant in the middle of my second divine sense C turned into a fire unicorn, and not long ago, I saw my second divine sense C turn back into a divine elephant. Chen Xiang asked. He could not understand no matter how much he thought about it. The azure dragon did not speak. He was silent. Pride of the World, Alchemy G, OD 23, TL. Chen Xiang asked. Senior, do you know what's going on? The green dragon replied. I know, but I'm not very sure. I can only tell you that the divine image is extraordinary and the Qilin that evolved from it is still in your second divine sense C. It's just that you do not know much about your own second divine sense C, so you did not see it. Hurry up and swallow me, the green dragon said. Long Jinrong that B-A-S-T-A-R-D has joined hands with the evil spirit race and is preparing to attack the dragon clan. Huh! Chen Xiang was shocked and asked, How do I devour you? Devour me the same way you usually devour divine soul. He had already made up his mind, because if he entered Chen Xiang's second divine sense C, he would be able to extend his life. The azure dragon's divine soul had urged Chen Xiang to swallow him a few times, so Chen Xiang felt too embarrassed. Said not to devour him right now, so he immediately used the devouring magic kung fu and absorbed the azure dragon's divine soul into one of his head bones. He wanted this bones to merge with the four beasts' divine soul. What a powerful divine soul! Chen Xiang felt very pained at the end. Just how does this guy train himself? When Chen Xiang assimilated with the azure dragon's divine soul, he also learned quite a few things about the dragon race from the azure dragon's memories. What made him even more surprised was that the evil spirit race was also a God. It's just that evil spirit race is a very evil race of gods. Their existence is just to devour the corpses and divine soul of other god races, so that they can become stronger. Evil spirit race knew that the azure dragon's powerful divine soul was still around. As long as they engulfed this divine soul, their strength would become even stronger and they would be able to break through the barrier of this star. This star's enchantment was also laid out by the azure dragon in the past, using its powerful strength. Chen Xiang could not help but exclaim in admiration at the azure dragon's strength back then. It was indeed worthy of being at the peak of its existence. However, he was helpless as he was unable to win against time, and had to die in the end. Right now, the azure dragon was only living in another way. He did not want himself to disappear from this world just like that. Even though he had become Chen Xiang's power, he was still the azure dragon and could only live in a different way. Fusing with the azure dragon's divine soul took a lot of time, and after Chen Xiang finished, more than 10 days had already passed. He walked out of the green brick house. It was very quiet outside, and he had thought that there would be some sort of battle. Chen Xiang, you're out. Long Pei Jin suddenly flew over. His entire body was covered with fiery red dragon armor. He looked like he was ready to fight. What's wrong? Something has happened? Chen Xiang asked quickly. Long Jinrong and Long Yingyi have released a large number of their evil spirit races. These evil spirit races are all hiding in the city right now. We are currently looking to kill them. Long Pei Jin said. C.R. A.P. They're diverting your attention. Their goal is to destroy this city's barrier. Chen Xiang frowned. Quickly go and find the great clan elder. Just as he finished speaking, Long Pei Jin fiercely looked towards the sky and let out a long sigh. Too late, the dragon city's barrier has been destroyed. C-2315. C-2315. All of this was done by Long Jinrong. He had many plans and destroying the barrier was one of them. We still have to find the great elder. What about now, Long Jinrong and his son? Chen Xiang asked. They have already left the Dragon City. What's strange is that the Dragon Emperor has not come out yet. I don't know why. Long Peijin was a little worried. The great clan elder went to notify the Dragon Emperor a long time ago, but he did not receive a response. Chen Xiang said in a low voice, Dragon Emperor is probably dead. Long Peijin immediately shook his head. Impossible, Dragon Emperor is already the strongest. He already possesses the 100 GODS level and 9 bones, so he reached the peak very early on, and it is impossible for him to die. Even an Azure Dragon might die, so why is that impossible? He was sent here very early to guard the Azure Dragon's mausoleum, and his death was most likely caused by the depletion of his longevity. Chen Xiang said. This was what Chen Xiang had learned from the Azure Dragon's memories. Although the Dragon Emperor was powerful, he could not withstand the destruction of time. When Chen Xiang and Long Peijin found the Great Elder was also burning with anxiety as he walked around the room. Great Clan Elder, forcibly open the Dragon Emperor's secret room, call him out. Long Peijin came over and said quickly, If Dragon Emperor doesn't come out, we will be exterminated by him. Evil spirit race knows us very well and has the power to restrain us. Furthermore, they can hide and there are a lot of them. No advertising, no writing, no writing. At this time, there were a few elders in the Great Clan Elder's room. When they saw that Long Peijin had arrived, they all frowned, because such an important matter didn't need the participation of a little girl like Long Peijin. At this time, they were also very concerned about Chen Xiang. After all, Chen Xiang had obtained the approval of the Dragon Emperor. If they did not see him here, they would have scolded him. Dragon Emperor might already be dead. When I entered the Azure Dragon tomb, the Azure Dragon mentioned this to me. He said that the Dragon Emperor's lifespan was almost used up as well. Haha, the fastest and most stable, Chen Xiang said. When the Great Clan Elder heard Chen Xiang's words, he could not help but exclaim, Seems like it is true. Not to mention the Dragon Emperor, even my old bones are about to be put into a coffin. The Great Clan Elder and the Dragon Emperor were the main pillars of the Dragon Clan. Especially the Dragon Emperor. He had to refine many divine pellets over the years in order for the Dragon Clan to grow. Now that there was no Dragon Emperor refining pills, how could they improve? Is the Dragon Clan finished? The head elder sat on a chair and said, It doesn't matter if I die, but what about the dragon race? Chen Xiang shouted, Great Clan Elder, the dragon race will not end here. You are the only pillar of the Dragon Clan. You cannot despair or the entire Dragon Clan will be finished. Right now, the first thing we need to do is to gather all the dragons. Don't let everyone spread out so that the evil spirit race won't be able to take action. The most troublesome thing about the evil spirit race was that he could hide. However, the Dragon Emperor has refined a type of pearl for all of you so you can sense it. If everyone gathers together, they won't dare to come close. If it was spread out, even if a single dragon could sense a hidden evil spirit race, they would still be killed. 55. Chen Xiang was very calm at the moment, much calmer than the old dragon in the house. Have you received instructions from the Azure Dragon? The Great Elder said. Yes, the Azure Dragon has told me a lot of things. Chen Xiang said, I hope that I can help you pass through this obstacle. Alright, we'll listen to you now. The Great Elder excitedly said, as if he was grabbing onto a lifeline. He was no longer as desperate as he was before. The Great Elder had obtained Chen Xiang's Supreme God pellet before, so he had a very good impression of Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang felt that since he had obtained the Azure Dragon's divine soul, he would definitely help the dragon race. Furthermore, the dragon race also had their friends. The other elders all agreed to listen to Chen Xiang. Prideful Deity 235 Peijin, go find Long Lin, Long Qing and the others. Let them be in charge of gathering all the dragons by the Azure Dragon Lake. Chen Xiang said. I'll go right now. Long Peijin immediately ran out of the house and into the city. Great Clan Elder, let's go open the Dragon Emperor's secret room and confirm that he is dead. Chen Xiang said, If he's not dead, that's for the best. Then, he and a few elders brought Chen Xiang to the Dragon Emperor's residence and entered the secret underground room. With their combined strength, they opened the secret room of the Dragon Emperor and saw the Dragon Emperor sitting cross-legged on the ground. His expression was extremely natural, and it could be seen that there wasn't any pain when he died. Dragon Emperor! After all, this was an old friend that he had spent many years with. Yet, he had left just like that. The other elders also began to cry bitterly. Now is not the time to cry, Chen Xiang said. He walked over to take a look at Dragon Emperor's body. Dragon Emperor was not like the Green Dragon, who could keep their divine soul intact. Dragon Emperor's divine soul had already dissipated, and divine sense C was already present. His entire body was filled with the scent of death. It was his first time seeing a peak divine Lord Ranker die after running out of his lifespan. Thinking about it, he felt a little sad. Do you have any objections if I burn his body? Chen Xiang asked. Please. Right now, the Dragon Clan was in danger. If they did not deal with it well, the Dragon Emperor would not be able to rest in peace even if he died. Chen Xiang took out the Chuang's Hi+G. O.D. furnace, released a flame and burned Dragon Emperor's body to death, then said, You guys wait a bit, don't look too sad, instead pretend to be very confident, don't hurt your morale. We will understand. The Great Elder said. Don't tell anyone else about the Dragon Emperor's death. It will make the dragon race even more depressed. Chen Xiang then continued, As for the divine pellets, you all do not have to worry. I will provide them for you. This is... Really? The Great Clan Elder asked in shock. Even though he asked this, he already believed it in his heart, because Chen Xiang had given him a very good Supreme Bone Level Dan. Chen Xiang took out a few Tai Bone Level Dan and distributed them to the elders, saying, These are for you. Of course, this is not for you to eat. It is to have you wait a bit and reward the dragon in your clan for your best performance. This is up to you all to decide, and it is also to motivate them. These elders were also unwilling to part with a few Tai Bone Level Danes, but since Chen Xiang had already said so, they could only do as he said, since it would be beneficial to the situation before them. After knowing that Chen Xiang was a G.O.D., the few elders heaved a sigh of relief. As long as they still had a divine pill to provide, they would be filled with confidence towards the future of the dragon race. When Chen Xiang and the others arrived at the side of the Azure Dragon Lake, there were already many gathered dragons, but all of them were camped out by the lake. After the Great Clan Elder and a few elders arrived, they let them come out for a meeting, and then said many impa-sionade words. Long Lin, Long Qing and the others had obtained one pill, which immediately boosted the morale of the entire Dragon Clan. C-2316. C-2316 because the Great Clan Elder was with Chen Xiang, this pill G.O.D. He became much more confident. At this time, he had also recovered his previous dignified appearance, but he was sighing with emotion in his heart. Dragon Emperor, who had been with him for many years, did not bid him farewell and just quietly said away like that. He also felt helpless as he was about to embark on this path. Although he didn't want to, but there was nothing he could do. He wasn't afraid as he couldn't let go of the Dragon Clan. Dragon City's array formation had been destroyed, but with Chen Xiang's secret help, the Dragon City was relatively stable. The sky gradually darkened. Chen Xiang, the Great Clan Elder and the others were discussing in the same tent. If nothing unexpected happens, the evil spirit race will be moving tonight. The Dragon City's array formation has been destroyed and cannot be repaired immediately. They will definitely make good use of this time to launch a surprise attack. Chen Xiang said. They may land from the sky. At that time, they will need to send more experts to patrol. The great elder nodded and sent an elder to give the order. Chen Xiang then said, "We cannot sit still and wait for death right now. Since the evil spirit race that is being led by Long Jinrong plans to destroy this place, we should also take the initiative to attack. But we need to go investigate first. I will handle this. Is that okay? Let us go." The great clan elder anxiously said. Chen Xiang was a gold pill G. Oh. If something happened to him and he was unable to provide the dragon race with the divine pellets, they would all be worried. "Don't worry about me." Chen Xiang laughed. "All you need to do is stay here and capture the rats. The people of the evil spirit race must come in by themselves. If they were to launch a large-scale attack, it would be a huge loss, but you must not relax. The people that the evil spirit race sent to ambush Sinate should all be elite evil spirit." Chen Xiang had already obtained the Azure Dragon's divine soul, so he had to quickly settle the matter here, and then leave this heavenly star to search for the divine soul of other divine beasts. Thus, he planned to go kill off the evil spirit race by himself. The evil spirit race was still quite far away from the Dragon City. Chen Xiang guessed that the elite evil spirits that the evil spirit race had sent out were definitely on their way. He wanted to take this opportunity to sneak an attack on the evil spirit race. He believed that with the strength of the dragon race, they would definitely be able to resist this attack. Furthermore, the dragon race had already made sufficient preparations. At night, Chen Xiang teleported out of the Dragon City, and even used the counterpower to make himself invisible. Although this was the power of the evil spirit race, after he used it, the evil spirit race was still unable to sense it. When he entered this star, he saw that the starry sky blood devil was constantly coming out, and that was the lair of the evil spirit race. According to his memories, he was constantly teleporting in that direction. Not long after, he arrived at the place where he met Long Peijin last time. After using the Dao Heart Eye here, he could see the starry sky blood devil that kept appearing. Chen Xiang understood from the Azure Dragon's memories that the reason he built the Azure Dragon tomb back then was also because of these evil spirit races, only that those evil spirit races had already been under his control. After he finished constructing them, those evil spirit races would accompany him in death, and the reason why the evil spirit race was constantly producing the starry sky blood devil was so that they could absorb the energy from the outside. It's just over there. Try your best to get rid of the evil spirit race tonight. Let's see if there's any way to control the barrier around this heavenly star. Such a good heavenly star can't be abandoned. Chen Xiang was very satisfied with the heaven stage stars, but it was very dangerous here. If the evil spirit race was destroyed, the heavenly star would be perfect. Chen Xiang, you plan to take root in this heavenly star in the future? Yue asked. But before that, I plan to have the Star Moon Divine Race, Divine Dragon Race and the Cat Race all gather here, and at that time, the 9 Heaven School and the hundreds of Flowers Village would come over and join forces. With my power in the Everlasting Mountain, it would be much easier to deal with the other heavenly stars, Chen Xiang said. Chen Xiang felt that as long as he could find them and negotiate with them, it wouldn't be too hard for them to migrate here. We'll talk about it when we get out, Yue replied. I can explain to Star Moon Divine Race and the others. It shouldn't be that difficult. Chen Xiang nodded his head and teleported to Evil Spirit Race's territory. At that moment, he was getting closer and closer to Evil Spirit Race. The Evil Spirit Race was inside a black-colored forest. Chen Xiang used the counterpower to make himself invisible, and then floated in midair. He saw that there were many dots of red light in the black-colored forest below. They looked no different from humans, but their actions were similar to beasts. Right now, they were just like monkeys sitting on trees. Only those evil spirit race with high intelligence would have the behavior of humans. This was also a very strong evil spirit. The other Chen Xiang were not afraid at all. These fellows are definitely afraid of my chuangs. Hi plus God furnaces flames. Chen Xiang took out Chuang's Hi plus God furnace and imbued it with 6 realms power. Chen Xiang instilled the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace for more than an hour, then allowed it to grow bigger, and controlled the flames inside the Chuang's Hi plus God furnace to erupt outwards. The Chuang's Hi plus God furnace's flames poured down from the sky like a majestic flaming waterfall. The flames suddenly attacked and instantly fell to the ground, spreading to the surroundings. The black forest evil spirits below were flying everywhere, but they could not escape the sea of fire. In the blink of an eye, more than half of them were submerged in the sea of fire. These are just small ants. Long Jinrong and the others are my true target. Chen Xiang began to search. The flames here had been burning for a long time, but no strong evil spirit had come out, which meant that the strong evil spirits were not here. Chen Xiang was shocked. It seems that not only are the elite evil spirits heading to the Dragon City, Long Jinrong and the rest have also gone. It seems that they can't wait anymore and want to control the dragon race as soon as possible. Starry Sky Blood Devil did not continue to be born, because the blood altar that was used to create Starry Sky Blood Devil had already been burnt by Chen Xiang's flames. Hurry up and go back. If Long Jinrong and the others plan to finish it by tonight, then it is very possible that they will go all out. Yuer said. Chen Xiang immediately teleported back. The dragon race did not have the Dragon Emperor protecting them. Long Jinrong and the evil spirit race's strongest evil spirit emperor had always been able to attack the Dragon Clan, but the Great Clan Elder and the others could not. Fortunately, Chen Xiang was able to teleport far away, and not long after, he arrived at the Dragon City. When he appeared in the air above the Azure Dragon Lake, he suddenly heard loud noises from below, and there was a huge commotion below. As expected, Long Jinrong and the others came over. Chen Xiang looked for the Great Clan Elder and the others, only to see that the Great Clan Elder was fighting against Long Jinrong.